couch chair, and this is awesome.
Proudest moment, and I think my proudest moment. We've actually come to the point where we've released a new kind of type of game for ourselves, a free-to-play type game, Warframe, specifically tailoring it to what the fans want to see. It's already something that all of us are so extremely proud of.
I found the name Warframe in like some 1950s Boeing research about like World War II soldiers having exoskeleton, so it's reimagined for our weird sci-fi fiction that we're doing. It has crazy wacky powers, but the way we like to think of it is you're a space ninja. You have a machine gun and a sword and a crazy power suit. Before it was going to be kind of a single-player console game, and now it is a co-op multiplayer game coming to PC this fall.
Loki, my personal favorite at the moment.
Also a favorite. He's the poster boy. Like in a good anime, you can definitely kill a robot with a sword if it's made of like carbon nanofibers. I just made that up. I don't know. There's anything like I just made that up.
Warframe, the controls is beautiful, the graphics outstanding. We can slide on the ground and shoot in slow motion is outrageous. Oh yeah, I'm a space ninja. Let's go.
We're trying to create situations where the players are pulling out the fiction if they want, and then creating their own stories. And then we're trying to build a system where those stories can be shared with other players.
Warframe, ancient weapons from the old earth. Only the Tenno can wield their power. I see Canadians, yes. We are Canadians, and we are ready to live stream our first dev Q&A for the Warframe community. We landed in Germany 7 hours ago. We've been up for almost 24 hours straight. Very good. I like Germany. 7 hours.
I like the classes, I like the customization, I like the whole layout, the scheme and everything. It's really good, I like it.
I showed Warframe on PlayStation 4 a lot.
Like a lot?
We would demo it for half an hour.
My personal favorite is probably Rhino or the new Nova class.
Rhino is awesome. Are you excited for the next Warframe coming?
Yeah, with the Necro, that looks real fun.
Have you guys heard they've shut down the entire mess? Nobody can come in anymore.
Oh, really? They love games.
What was that disc thing you threw?
Hello Live, Patch East 2015. We are so excited. Thank you for coming. This is our first ever Warframe panel. We're so lucky to be there. Hello Live, Patch East 2015. We are so excited. Hello Live, PAX East 2015. We are so excited. Comic-Con New York. It was amazing. We didn't know if anyone was going to come. Turns out it was completely full. People show up, man.
cheered for everything that we showed. It was awesome.
Alright guys, here we go. We're about to enter the show. What's going on here today? Here we go, we're about to enter TennoCon 2016 into the mayhem. Over 1,000 people are here. We're going to show you what's going on here today.
It's taking a few hours to sink in that this is happening, but it's awesome. It's engaging with the players. It's easy. Like, they just want to come up and talk about the game. It's fun.
Welcome to TennoCon live to from TennoCon, first ever event of its kind. Where did you come from to get here? TennoCon, we had the idea to do this, and I could never have imagined it would have turned out the way it did with you guys here. You guys have no idea how much it means to us to come here. Take a look at this sweet target wall. This is based off of the Steel Meridian Syndicate Relay Room. Where did you come from to get here?
I travel from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I come from Ohio, Indiana. I traveled all the way from the United Kingdom. Allison.
How do you feel about that?
many times this weekend. I'm so blown away.
My mind has been blown.
We talked about maybe the game needs a new player experience.
It's everything, and I think any veteran American player would want. And you're literally changing the shape of games.
The whole thing about connectivity is done so well. Just what we thought was a possibility 4 years ago is the now.
I just want to stay up and on every single time. I'm so excited.
All that content that's coming.
I didn't expect that at all.
It's a lot more than I expected.
Has to be the coolest thing ever.
Every single TennoCon, you guys seem to do something that no one expects but everyone wants.
Making the game the way you want it. That makes it all the thing, right?
There's just like a visceral thing of losing your mind with everyone else around you. Speaks to my soul.
You flew all the way down from Saudi Arabia.
He's always on me, like, telling me, we gotta go there, we gotta go there. This place is such a great event.
I recommend everyone to come here for real. Happy, I got every single signature from everyone.
It's good to be a ninja. As a founder, I'm proud I took this gamble and supported you guys.
Since TennoCon, we've had more people playing more friends than ever.
We work with the best devs in the world. We love them all, and we love the community. You guys are the best there is, and we appreciate all your honesty, and we love to see you guys have fun. So thank you for keeping it around.
Both of your Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
As you can see from that recap video, I don't think I'm fully exposed from it yet, and there's a lot going on that really excites me. As you guys see from that right heart right now, I don't think I'm fully exposed from it yet, and heart the audio because I don't think I'm ready to do mistakes. They are going to set. My name is Rebecca Ford, and I'm right now. As you can see from that recap video, I don't think I'm fully exposed from it yet, and there's a lot going on. As you can see from that recap video, I don't think I'm fully composed from it yet, and there's a lot going on. That beating heart of Deimos, all of those things. I think if the sound team had a mic hooked up to my heart right now, we would certainly be getting some good heartbeat audio because I don't think I'm ready to start this day, but we are going for it. My name is Rebecca Ford, and I'm here to kick off TennoCon 2020 Digital Edition Live. Now, because we're live, I might as well say hi to people in chat. What's going on here? We got some Clever Ricotta, we got some hi, we got some look at Warframe. It is not, this part isn't pre-recorded, but I'm glad you mentioned that because some parts are. We really needed to go all out to bring you a full day of streams, and we wanted to do it safely, which means that the art panel and the sound panel you'll be watching today are in fact pre-recorded. But I'm just going to do a little hello here, see what's going on. Hi, Space Mom. Hello, hello. Is it me you're talking to, or is it something else? Because we'll come to that in just a second. Dean, how's everything going over there? Yeah, we have Dean in the studio. Megan is also here. Everyone else at Digital Extremes watching from home, hello. And everyone around the world watching from home, hello. We've been preparing this day for months. I did have some stuff written, but based on the way, just that video and everything made me feel and seeing people here in chat, I just want to let you guys know that as you watch today, we will be building up to Tenno Live, which will reveal the heart of Deimos. We hope you love it, and we know a lot of you are preparing for TennoCon and Tenno Live 2020. We in fact fact, asked some of you to send in a video of what you're most excited for, and also just to see where you're watching from, because Warframe is global. So let's take a look at what you guys had to say about TennoCon 2020.
Hello, TennoCon 2020 from Thailand.
What really excites me this year about TennoCon is the fact that it's my first one.
And I started playing Warframe when I was 13 years old, and now it's 2020, and I'm 20 years old, and I'm still playing it. So, you have a good one.
Very excited for TennoCon, and we are looking forward to see whatever you guys are looking for.
Very much excited for what's to come, and hopefully it'll knock our socks off like every other year.
And the thing that I get most excited for about TennoCon is the big reveals.
J'aime la TennoCon 2020 and excited to discover new gaming experiences at TennoCon.
Stuff's been pretty rough with the pandemic here, and Warframe's been keeping me sane. The only way we're gonna get through this is if we
What I'm most excited about in this TennoCon is the rewards and some fun cosplay.
I'm very excited for TennoCon this year and every year because it celebrates my favorite game ever.
And I'm really excited to see more lore content at TennoCon.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the big update is.
And I can't wait to hear your new music from the sound clip.
This year for TennoCon, I'm very excited for Hearts of Deimos, the Weary Paradox, Railjack Crew, different faction lectures, what happened to the Lotus, what happened to the third giant spider.
And the thing I'm probably most interested in is the art show.
At this year's TennoCon, I'm most excited for the Heart of Deimos reveal.
I am looking forward to see what the whole Hearts of Deimos is going to be about. And hopefully it's going to be an amazing day, even though we are all far apart.
And I am looking forward to see what the brilliant team at Digital Extremes will do to make this event exciting and engaging, even from the confines of their homes and studios. Best of wishes to you, team.
Well, that made my heart explode into a million pieces, but, you know, at the end there it is. You know, what have we done today? Well, we've done a lot, and it's the Heart of Deimos, and we're going to show it to you later today. But I do think it's worth mentioning, and I'm sure everyone's aware, the circumstances around this digital TennoCon are one because of this global pandemic. So everything we've made today has been done remotely, with our team unable to connect in the office. It's been done from the comfort of our homes, or sometimes the uncomfort if things like our air conditioners broke, or maybe our water leaked. Cough, Taylor, cough. So we're really excited that we were able to pull something together for TennoCon for you this year. And ultimately what we did is probably our strangest but also most intriguing update that you're going to take a look at later today. And speaking of later today, let's take a look at the schedule. Yes, there is lots happening. We are currently in the Welcome to TennoCon segment. The art of Warframe is coming up at 1 o'clock, then the Sounds of the System, pre-recorded. Then we have the TennoCon Community Art Show with Megan, followed by the Tenno Trivia Show with Megan. Then, at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going into Tenno Live Digital Edition, right here on the couch. So stick around, there's lots to do all day, and of course, there's lots of rewards to earn. And I mean, that's what you're here for. No, you're here for Warframe. Maybe the rewards, I don't know. You tell me. If our chat is any indication, it might be the drops, but it also might be Warframe. So, let's take a look at what you can earn today. If you watch the TennoCon stream from now until 5 p.m. Eastern Time, you can earn the Athadai hand cannon on all platforms. If you watch Tenno Live from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., you can get Hydroid Prime. Now, here's the kicker. If you watch Tenno Live from the TennoCon or Tenno Live relay on Earth on any platform, so that means at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, be in a relay, TennoCon or Tenno Live on Earth, any platform, you're going to get a cosmetic and a mystery decoration. Don't miss it. The Tenno Trivia game that we're running later today is going to also have some rewards for you, so make sure that you are ready to go for Tenno Trivia. You can earn some crazy awesome stuff. We also would like to take this moment to remind you all that this is a charity event, so let's take a listen to what our two charities that we're supporting this year have to say.
Hello everyone, and thank you for attending TenCon 2020. My name is Kelly Wilson, and I am the Chapter Development Coordinator for Autism Ontario London. It is encouraging to see so many participants involved in the event. We would like to thank you for your participation and Digital Extreme for hosting TenCon. Digital Extreme is donating a portion of the proceeds this year to Autism Ontario London to help support families and individuals with autism. Autism Ontario London is a non-profit organization that exists solely because of donations and fundraising fundraising support that we receive from community events like TenCon. Currently, we serve approximately 4,000 families in London, Middlesex, Elgin, and Oxford counties. We provide services to local individuals and families who are affected by autism. Autism is a complex, lifelong neurological disorder that affects the way a person communicates and relates to people and the world around them. Every individual with autism deserves to be understood and supported. Autism can affect behavior, social interaction, ability to communicate verbally, and sensory stimuli. All of the monies raised here today will stay local and directly support people with autism in the London area. If you have any questions and would like to contact us, email london@autismontario.com and join TenCon 2020. And again, thank you to Digital Extreme for your support.
Greetings to everyone attending TenCon 2020. I'm Carol Walters, the CEO of the Alzheimer's Society for London and Middlesex. I hope you're enjoying TenCon. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do. The Alzheimer's Society provides a wide range of programs and services for families living with dementia. Through this pandemic, we have been providing many of these services in ways we had never imagined. From virtual recreation programs to video conferencing support groups to porch drop-offs of activity kits for those that are unable to connect online. The Alzheimer's Society supports over 3,000 clients in our region, and your participation today will help us continue to offer these vital services. Thanks to Digital and everyone involved in TenCon for partnering with our organizations here. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
So these donations and everything we're doing to support these two charities have been made possible by the support received from you guys in proportion to the proceeds from the digital merch packs. So if you have your TenCon digital pack, maybe you have the merch pack, you can still go to store.com to store.warframe.com. Let's not go to store.com. Let's not take down some poor website right now. Store.warframe.com will lead you to your opportunity to check out some things that we have, not only in obtaining the digital TenCon 2020 pack, the merch, or the in-game goods, but also something very special that we're launching today. And there's no lines because it's digital, which means that you don't have to wait in the TenCon show floor lines. So let's take a look. As you can see, that statue is 11 inches tall, so it's almost taller than me. Now, moving on. There are some things on the store that are limited time pre-orders only, so if you want to get some TenCon merch this year, go to the store.warframe.com now and make sure you get your orders in, because some things are only around for a limited time, and some we're only making to order, so make sure you get your order in. Now, we have lots to cover. I have all my paper here. The dev stream habits are dying hard a little bit. It's been about 8 months, not really 6 months, since I've sat on this couch and, done a dev stream, but I assure you the paper will not lead me astray. You know what else won't lead you astray? Discord. We have Discord up if everyone wants to participate on Discord. Maybe you're having trouble connecting to chat on Twitch. Not sure. Maybe you want to spam drop somewhere else. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. You can join our Discord right here. Hop on in. We have some friendly faces in there, and you guys can say hi. Doing some giveaways, some prizes, and if you want to identify yourself, what better way to do it than with our digital TenCon badges? So this year, we're letting you make your own TenCon badge. All you have to do is go to warframe.com/badge, and you can do it. warframe.com/badge. Make your own badge, tweet it, #warframe, and away we go. Now, we gotta do some prizes. I mean, we have amazing sponsors this year that have given us lots of physical goods to give away for the welcome segment, which is right now. That is what you're watching. And I think we're gonna start off with a prize from Corsair. This is a Corsair gaming prize pack. A lucky Twitch viewer is going to win it. It has a Dark Core RGB Pro gaming mouse, K70 RGB Mark II gaming keyboard, MM300 gaming mouse pad, and a Void RGB Elite wireless. loud. Loud. Hi, chat. Say hi. I see a pog. Good. I know I'm in the right place. Oh, the winner of the Corsair prize pack is Vilacazo. As you can see, even on TennoCon, we still can't pronounce your usernames. But what we can do is tell you where you can claim your prize. You gotta message us on twitch.tv/warframe. Message our channel, your mailing address. We need all your information. Shipping address, your name, so we can physically send you this awesome pack. And you know what? We're gonna do another one. This time, from Intel. We are going to do Hades Canyon. And you see, I've entered the Intel pack, so let's do it. I know, I like that it said void in the Corsair prize pack. That was very exciting for me. Thanks, chat, for noticing that. All right. The winner is Trib, TRIHB. Message us the same thing. Mailing address, personal information of that mailing address, so we can send you this Intel pack. Last but not least, one NVIDIA RTX 2080. I can't talk, I'm too nervous. TI graphics card. This is the first of the day. We're going to do another one at 10 Live. So if you don't win this graphics card, maybe you'll win the next. Thank you, NVIDIA. This is going to be awesome. Is it good? Can I win? That joke is, I made that joke. Zealots! You've won! A zealot has won! This is very, very good. You gotta message us, again, your mailing address, so we can hook you up with this generous prize from NVIDIA, GeForce RTX 2080. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna stop talking. I need to organize my papers. There's a lot to do here today. And we're about to, lead you into the next segment of Tenno Live. Well, no, TennoCon, not Tenno Live. Don't quote me on that. Yes, we're good. We are gonna take it away. Up at 1 o'clock, we have the pre-recorded art panel. Don't go anywhere. See you later. Hi, Tenno. We're here, and we're socially distanced.
I got deals. Come to my sale. Come to my sale. Gotta dump this merch or I go to jail. Just kidding, friend. But seriously, I need to sell this stuff quick.
Hi Tenno, this is your friendly reminder to make sure your Twitch account is linked to your Warframe account so you can receive Twitch drops while watching TennoCon 2020. To link your Twitch account to your Warframe account, go to warframe.com/user and click the Twitch link to link. Make sure you're logged into the correct Warframe account that you wish to receive the Twitch drops on. This year, for watching TennoCon 2020 throughout the day, we are giving away a brand new hand cannon called the Aphrodite. During Tenno Live, watch for a free Hydroid Prime. Enjoy TennoCon 2020. This is a message specifically for Megan Everett. Now that TennoCon is here, you need to change your fashion frame defaults. They are unacceptable, and it has to stop. This is an intervention. Thank you.
Elegance. Opulent. Grace. Nifty. When the thruster's kicking, you feel it down to your operator. K-drive. Check, check.
Oh, hello there, Tenno. This is a pre-recorded hello. I'm kind of curious what you've eaten today, so why not tell me in chat? Because, it's a long day. It's TennoCon. Usually I would ask you in person at the convention what you had for lunch, so I might as well ask you here.
Hi Tenno, it's your environment artist. We will miss you at TennoCon this year, but it's time to reveal the art of Heart of Delos update we prepared for you. Keep watching to see it.
Hey Tenno, soy Fernanda, parte del equipo Sigue y de comunidad de habla hispana. Nos extrañamos mucho en esta TennoCon, pero ya se va a revelar el corazón de Deimos. Estamos súper emocionados.
Hey everyone, good to meet you. This kind of has a hostage video vibe to it, doesn't it? But I assure you, I am okay. Now, I don't even know if I should be showing you this. Danger is my middle name. So is Nathaniel. Anyway, here it is.
Hi Tenno, my name's Jules. I'm a member of the Events and Merch team here at DE. So sad that you won't be able to see us at the physical event this year, but I'm so thrilled that we're having a digital event to share with you. We really hope that you enjoy the Heart of Delos.
Hello, my name is Bobby Tippers, and I am the in-house photographer here at Digital Extremes. Now, for Hot Demos, haven't done a damn thing. I'm not getting any paychecks, so I don't know what's going on. Do I still have a job? All right, enjoy whatever this is. I don't know. How do you turn this thing off? Cheryl, how do you turn this f***ing thing off?
Hi, Tenno. I'm Karina, a.k.a. Wintermaker. This is Sandy, and this is Lucas. We'll be greatly missing you at TennoCon 2020 this year, but no needs to worry. Our Heart of Davis reveal is coming right up.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's me, D-Bear. Part of the community team, and most probably be seeing you around the actual convention around this time. Sadly, so definitely looking forward to showing you the Hot Demos, and let's see how it goes. Enjoy the show.
Hello, this is Taylor B from the community team, and I just want to say we're going to miss you guys so much at TennoCon this year, but we're so excited to finally show you the Heart of Demos. Enjoy.
Hello, Tenno. My name is Eric Vetter, lead concept artist at Digital Extremes. Finally show you what I've been working on for TennoCon, Heart of Demos. Coming soon. Please keep watching.
Hi Tenno, my name is Rosa and I'm currently the concept artist at Digital Extremes. We'll miss you at TennoCon this year, but we still have exciting news for you guys. We'll be showcasing something called Demos. I'll be able to show you a quick sneak peek of what it is. We still have exciting I hope you guys enjoy.
arkadaşımızla mekanı sahibi Sigue. Digital Extremes Warfare'in Türkçe destek ekibinde çalışıyorum. Umarım bu seneki şovumuzu beğenirsiniz. İyi geceler.
Hi, Tenno. My name is Heidi. I'm the director of HR here at Digital Extremes. I have the fortune of working with over 350 of the best people in the industry and, of course, the best HR team in the world. I wanted to virtually say hello from Sheldon and I. We will miss you at this year's So You Want to Work at DE. We'll miss you at the panel. Sorry we won't see you in person, but hopefully next year again. Just wanted to wish everyone well and enjoy the day with us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey Tenno, Dean here. I'm putting some final touches on the TennoCon 2020, but you know, you're watching it right now. So why don't we take a quick look behind the scenes?
We've got the broadcast station, the Zoom capture, the live capture, the view from the couch, social distance room number 1, social distance room number 2, social distance room number 3,
and of course, we can't forget my cable mess. Enjoy TennoCon 2020.
The Heart of Warframe panel is starting. Join members of the... Okay, you know what? I knew this place was haunted, but now I know, and I'm gonna go. To our 5th art panel, our first ever fully digital art panel for TennoCon 2020, and I am joined by Jeff, Lucas, and Keith, and we're going to be going through some behind-the-scenes stuff that we've been working on this year, some stuff that we've been doing from our work-from-home stations. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? We can start with Jeff.
Hi guys, I'm Jeff. I'm the art and animation director on Warframe. It's really cool to see everyone. I haven't seen you guys since March. So
I know.
It's weird to be back in the studio in this kind of setup, but I'm really glad you guys could accommodate it. Thanks very much, Dean, for setting this all up.
Thanks, Dean. And Lucas, you're also here, socially distanced from all of us in a safe space.
I'm in the forest.
Yes, yes.
Pretty cool. So my name is Lucas, and I'm associate art director on Warframe, and I'm really happy to be here.
And Keith, you are also joining us, but even further away from the office, actually nowhere near us. So hello, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. And it's been longer in time too. I unfortunately missed TennoCon last year, but I was there before, the year before, and it's nice to kind of join remotely on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm a concept artist, and I've been working on Warframe since the get-go, and I kind of just send everyone a bunch of stuff as much as I can. They try to sort through it.
Yeah, he drowns us in ideas.
Well, welcome everyone, and it's so nice to have you back. You've been on panels before, so we're going to go through our panel agenda quickly here. So we're going to, of course, do some reveals. We're going to show you some concept art. We're going to show you some progress reports on things that you've maybe seen before. We also have a fashion frame review segment in which Jeff, Lucas, and Keith, you will have your say on some of the submissions we've received from our community. So be nice, or don't, I don't know, constructive criticism too, leave it up to you. And so with that, we're going to jump straight into our first segment here, and we're going to talk about some warframes. And first on the docket is, of course, something the community would be quite familiar with because they actually created it. So the community created Warframe. We started this project back in March, and it started with the theme that the Design Council picked, which was broken. So we're going to be exploring some of the early concept art from Aorn Hart, wonderful Warframe fan artist, one of the 4 Warframe community artists that we actually work with in this project. So if you guys wanted to go ahead and jump into this and just talk about the process of creating a Warframe from a single word, broken.
It kind of weirdly worked out nicely, the theme. It's kind of segued really nicely into this content we're working on, and thematically it has a really a nice purpose for kind of the update that's going to be coming along with it. So that worked out really well, and then it was really cool that Aorn kind of just took a first swing at it. This was the pitch they came up with on their own, just based on the theme. And I think that's when we realized that we kind of wanted to pivot a bit and give a bit more specific feedback towards how it would work. And I think that's where Pablo came up with the idea of a void corrupted frame that had to piece itself together from various parts of other Warframes. Right. And that's kind of how it evolved from there to the next stage.
Right. So we ended up with Aorn Hart presenting us with kind of variations of what that broken Warframe would look like. So still kind of, I guess, retaining some of the first concept. And then...
And this is great. This is amazing. We just asked them to kind of be really quick, give us some quick silhouettes that we can kind of look at to get a good vibe for, and this is really great to build from.
And then we ultimately ended up with this final concept art, which the community has seen already, but what hasn't been shared yet is the final in-game model of Zaku. So here is Zaku. We are presenting them to the world. The next Warframe to be released, our 44th Warframe, if that's right, 44th, that's crazy. So I noticed some really interesting animations happening here.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun kind of play on the character mesh, leaning on the theme of the instability of the frame. You're going to kind of see that in how it behaves. The armor kind of gets loose from its body and floats a bit, and that actually gets incorporated into the power casts a lot as well. The armor is able to kind of be separate and then be used as functions for the casts.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So what's a Warframe without a nifty, stylish alt helmet? And we actually had Faven, a long-time Tenogen artist, concept and also model the helmet. And I know that Faven sent you a bunch of choices, really, to pick from. So what made you pick the space button situation we've got going on here?
I think it just stood out. It had the strongest kind of presence on the batch that he pitched to us, which was very cool. He pitched us a good amount of options. And these two artists were really great to work with. I find in general our community artists are amazing to work with. They were just really collaborative and really open to ideas and feedback, and just kind of really fast as well. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, super speedy, super responsive, really honestly just a delight to work with. Yeah. And they came up with just some incredible stuff.
The bun is really wonderful because it creates like a locus or a terminating point to all of the tendrils that go out. So it creates sort of a unifying principle as something that could risk being kind of going off in all directions.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It feels really nice thematically.
And then we get to see the actual final version of Zaku's alt helmet, and we get to see kind of what you were saying there, Keith, with just the tendrils flowing. And this is actually now, in the concept art, it looked like tubing almost, but we've changed it to look more like FX, like energy flowing.
It has that ethereal kind of void quality to it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, cool that Faven could build this, and it just worked really well with Ray and the character guys. It was really smooth. Definitely be open to working with these two artists again. They were great.
Awesome. And then we, of course, with our Warframe releases, we bring out signature-styled cosmetics to come with them. So Zaku, of course, is going to be coming out with a signature broken Syndana, and similarly to Aornhard, we had posted this concept to the community, and it was made by the lovely Karu, who you might be familiar with, already does a lot of kind of Warframe fashion-styled art, so it only seemed appropriate.
I love the art that they do.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's super fantastic, and it's got the fashion concept. And we have the final model here.
I think Lucas worked a lot. He gave a lot of
Yeah,
feedback on them.
yeah, I worked with Carol on this one, and it was like a really great collaboration. And at the end, we thought like, if you can see like the general shape, it's feel like a crack, right? So with the theme of the broken Warframe, but it had like another one that I saw and that I really liked. It was kind of like a thunder, right? Because for me, this Warframe, like the theme is like broken, but it's kind of made from 3 different Warframe, a little bit like Frankenstein, and with these like blue tentacles, it's feel really like a Frankenstein type of Warframe. So I think this one like fits really well with the theme.
And we kind of carried over that Frankenstein sense over to the signature weapon as well. So here are some early concepts brought by Kademel. Again, a great Warframe fan artist who's been playing Warframe for a really long time and making incredible art as well. And what was the decision making behind a Warfan?
I think it's because we don't have any Warfan lately.
Yep.
It was like, oh, let's do one.
Right.
And I think for this particular theme, it was very challenging. Because you need to visually divide 3 different types, right? Because this Warframe is made up of 3 different Warframes. But the Warframe is so small and repetitive, so this was a great challenge that Kademel did. She did a really good job with. Yeah.
Yeah, so we see a couple of different work in progress concepts there, just taking a stab at incorporating all of those elements into one unified Warfan. And we can finally celebrate the Gunson not being the only Warfan in the game, so it's great to kind of, expand on that category, so I'm sure people will be excited about that.
It's good pressure to get another stance out there.
We've only got one, so
I know.
we've only got one. And then, of course, here's, I guess, the final render that Lucas, ultimately, you ended up telling Kademel to push forward and finalize. And then we have... Yes?
Sorry. I think what's interesting about the Warfan is originally it was sort of linked with an idea of an Orokin type of weapon, where it may be a little bit surreptitious. It may be something that kind of an aristocratic type might have slightly secret, which is based off of kind of an actual thing that was used in ancient Japan, where they would have these metal war fans that they would use often to defend themselves from assassins and things like that. And what I like about this design so much is it almost goes back to the design of a paper fan, where you have those kind of wooden slats, and then you have the paper concertina in the middle as 2 distinct materials. Because I think with the Gunsen, which might have been based off of some of my Warfan stuff earlier, it was based off of the metal ones, where they're all consistently the same kind of slats, which then plated. So it's great to see sort of a different form of fan being incorporated into the our Warframe style fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely got a lot of sharp paper going on now with the broken Warfan and the Gunson.
So the heavy attack will be paper cut.
Hey, those are nasty.
That's the worst, I know.
Yeah, those
fun.
are nasty. I would not want a Warframe running at me with a paper cut machine, so I would be afraid to near corpus. And then, of course, we have the introduction of the Broken Warframe in its final form. So there you go.
So, yeah, I was really lucky to be able to model it. The concept was great, it was really straightforward. And when we worked on it, I talked about it to Joe Buck, and he bring up the idea of having an heavy attack, and when you do it, it kind of throws the purple blade away, so it's a melee that can reach a little bit further. So I think this will be really interesting to play with. I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited now. That sounds awesome. So with that, we've just introduced our next Warframe and the signature Sindana, alt helmet, and weapon that will be released with Zaku. And the best part of this is that it was all created by you guys, the community. So you had an input on it from the start, and you get to see it here in the flesh. And it was really awesome. I guess I'm sure you guys could agree. It was really awesome to see every part of the community come together to create something and really see their ideas realized at the end of the day. So thank you guys.
It's very cool. It's cool to be able to have that kind of process in the game, and we're very lucky to be in a position where we can have the community engaged at that level. And again, just a massive thanks to the community artists who helped out with this.
Yes.
Like I said, they were just a dream.
Yes. Awesome. I do want to just touch on something that Keith, you mentioned, just how when you're concepting, how it can start from like some doodles and really like preliminary work on getting that concept actually fully detailed. And we kind of see that with the Alchemist Warframe, which Jeff Nikita had concepted, and we see some pretty early stages here of what is going to be the next Warframe after Zaku.
Yeah, so as I was alluding to before, like this is Nikita making a pitch for a Warframe design. So he has, I won't speak too much on his power kit or the next one, because they do pitch the kit and then they work with Pablo and Scott to kind of refine that. I'm not exactly sure what stage that's in right now. But Nikita kind of pitched his line drawing to Lucas and I. And I mean, you can tell right here, like right off, like Nikita again started out as a community artist and someone who just understands the Warframe aesthetic completely. And you can really kind of get a good sense of where he's going with this. So Lucas and I told him to build on it and to definitely push it.
And we can see the progress that was made just from which Nikita told me was a lunchtime doodle. Just kind of a casual, I'm going to just put some, pen to paper, and now we have this Alchemist Warframe final concept.
That's right, yeah.
And what are some of the themes that we can kind of expect from the Alchemist?
I can't remember how much was in flux, because I'm not sure if you remember, Lucas.
Yeah, I do.
5 months ago.
I can talk about this one and give more details to the demo. So yeah, Nikita is like a weapon artist, but the good thing in DE is if you want to try something else, you're able to. And Nikita is like a community artist, as Jeff mentioned. And he was like, yeah, I want to do a Warframe. So he's a really good artist, and we gave him his chance. And look at that, it's just amazing. And so his idea was like the alchemist, but the mad scientist too, right? So you can see like those type of tubes that go around that symbolize serpents, and serpents are a symbol of alchemists because it's shared and it's kind of like a rebirth, right? You can see the inspiration with the glove and kind of like the asthma suit and everything.
And he actually has the serpent shapes incorporated into the arms.
Yes.
They are separate kind of characters in a way, and they will have animations and they will be able to separate from the body.
Exactly, yes.
And we do actually have the model to show, which actually is there a snake coming out of his arm there? Is that what I'm seeing?
That's what's coiled around his arm.
Yeah, so this is very interesting with this warframe because it's an alchemist, so he tries lots of different things, and with this kind of snake syringe, he kind of tried it on his enemy, right? So this will kind of be one of his abilities, definitely. And then you can see his helmet, the right part of his helmet is a little bit destroyed, and this is because one of his experiments went wrong. So, interesting detail there.
It's also a function of the gameplay because he realized that it was blocking the camera.
Oh, really?
It came from that, yeah.
But it works great.
No one has to know that. No one has to know that.
No, we won't tell.
Very cool. Very cool.
And it's cool. You can see the thought process. Sometimes things have to adapt when he goes from sketch to model. He completely redesigned the helmet from the model. It turned out really great.
I'm ready to become a mad scientist seeing this, so I'm pretty excited. And then we have another community artist, well known in our community, Liger. So what are we looking at here?
This is a very cool story because Liger now kind of works for DE. Well, works for DE, not kind of. And this is what got them the job. This was just a fan project that they put together and put online. And it lit up the studio. It was making the rounds. Everyone's like, did you see this? Did you see this? So I think I might have got in touch with Rebecca and just said, hey, can you reach out and see if they'd be willing to take on some deluxe contracts? And then that worked out so well that we ended up just kind of putting them on and hiring them. So as they kind of got more comfortable in the production at DE, they made a pitch. They said, this is the design I came up with all these years ago. Would it be possible to pitch it as a warframe? I said, absolutely. Put your kit together. I said the aesthetic is already good to go. We'd have to make some adaptations to it, to make sure it can function as a 3D mesh. But Pablo gave it the pass, and I think Scott and Pablo both worked on it a bit, and it's going into production. It's already started. Skyers has a base mesh kind of going, which is just a really cool story, I think.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and we have some I guess you could say in progress or some work in progress versions of that 3-year-old concept that is kind of being reworked.
And yeah, now that it went into production, this is the kind of revised. It was very cool. Like there was some notes just to get the mesh to work on the mesh, as I mentioned, but because it was about 2-year-old design, I can't really remember exactly. It's about 2 years old. Liger also just wanted to kind of do some updates to the base kind of bodies. That's
Awesome. And then, of course, with all the warframes we've showed, we have signature alt helmets and accessories coming with this as well. So this is some early, I guess, concepts. Or is this a final concept from Liger?
This is final. Yep,
there you go. There you go. Some spiky swooped situation happening here.
It's always fun to see something that's really brave with like asymmetry. It's tricky because you know which side you put it on, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's also aesthetically too. It's sort of but I love the way this looks. Really going all the way with it. Really having that unique silhouette and that flow too, with those kind of striations. It's great.
Liger, I think, has a really great understanding of using the organic forms, the kind of like organic shapes of the warframes into those like natural forms. Just those kind of really nice balance.
And then we have Wraith's Sigue again by the lovely Liger.
So Liger work for the weapon team a lot too. So they do a lot of concept. So I reached out and I asked if they wanted to do the same Dana. And I think it was really good.
It was pretty good.
No, what should I say?
No, that's good.
No, it's good. And And then we have a nifty looking weapon as well. I guess it's styled to be equipped like a sonic war almost, so it's got that wrist mounted, setup to it. So is there anything we can expect from it in terms of like functionality or?
Yeah, so you can see like the first slab. This is kind of the clip, and when it's empty, you kind of grab it and throw it to the enemy, and then it's something happens. We still don't know what.
Right.
This would be like the reload animation.
It's just because Tim likes to throw stuff in his animations. So.
As we've learned. So when you throw it, it's almost like its own projectile, like
exactly like a grenade or or something that explodes into an AOE, right? Like that, yes.
Exciting. All right, so we've shown the next 3 Warframes to come all this year. I think we determined that, yeah. So all in 2020. So you're gonna see Zaku, you're gonna see the Alchemist, and you're gonna see the Wraith all come to you in 2020. So very exciting. So now that we've shown the next Warframes to come, I think people already have their wheels turning on how they're gonna customize them. Fashion frame being very important, of course. And we did ask our players to submit some of their fashion frame loadouts to be judged or reviewed by our panelists here today. So Jeff, Lucas, and Keith, you have the task of looking at some of the submissions here and letting them know what your thoughts are. So this first one comes in from Stargazing Kitsune on PC. Here we have it. Take a look at the
Lucas,
details.
you're going to be biased to this.
No, I'm not. It's just amazing. That's it. Fine,
it's amazing.
This is Lucas's design.
Oh, well,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
amazing. Yeah.
Stargazing, you're smart. You submitted knowing somehow that Lucas was going to be here.
He's working the judges.
It's like a prime. It's a gold and everything. It's very good. Yeah. And even like the theme, like the purple, fits the actual Nova Prime. So pretty good.
It is very good.
And there's a great like beetle shell and enamel kind of quality to it. I don't think I've seen on a Warframe before.
I think you tried to get that, didn't you, Lucas?
Yeah. Like the handmade is not the one that I designed. No. But I know that it's not very loved in the community. So. No, it's all fine.
Can't win them all.
Well, I mean, like, as we're going through this, we know a lot of these, like, the fashion of Warframe is very subjective, and there's just so many customizations, which is kind of the beauty of it. So you can really create a space that, is really tailored to you. So as we go through this, like we'll see with this next one here by Damos_Jade on PS4, we have a completely different style with a Baru.
Oh man, 2 for 2 with Lucas.
Oh, again, Lucas.
This is amazing. It's like people like this community have such a good taste. I like that.
I like the colors going on here. It's nice.
And we have this one here from 7th Spectrum on Xbox One. Haro.
Oh, I like the take on Haro. I like that. I like the kind of like the light theme on Haro.
Who designed the Haro Deluxe? I know we actually showed it last TennoCon.
Keith did the initial Warframe concept for Haro.
But this one is Samuel.
That's right. And then Sam built the deluxe one.
Yeah.
So Keith, you're seeing the community creations come from your concept art, and this is kind of like on the elevated level of Haro.
It's one of the things I really love is we sort of design these, space ninjas and things like that, and then the community always sort of, a lot of them, I see different takes, but a lot of the time they sort of build themselves up like these feudal warlords. There's a way to added kind of pomp, and it's really interesting to see the kind of people following this kind of elevation of their own character and through their successes and kind of conquering.
Very symmetrical and everything, and I see that there is an FX from Baruch on the background.
Yes.
So
another one for Lucas. That's 3 for 3.
It's amazing, guys.
Lucas. You're killing it. You're killing it. What are we, like 3 for 3 now? This next one comes from Brush_D, and this is actually a Nintendo Switch player with a, again, Protea out on display. Very pink fuchsia.
You know, I like a good pink piece.
Do you?
I do. I think Megan's watching this, right? I'm assuming Megan will watch this? Like,
She will.
yeah, she wants to see kind of like a tasteful way to use pink.
Chef. Megan, he doesn't mean it. A tasteful way to use pink. But actually, I think this is the first time I've ever seen Protea in this kind of color scheme, and she is using one of her alt helmets, and it's delightful. I'm not an artist. I shouldn't be commenting here, but I like it.
Everybody can comment on it.
That's the beauty of fashion frame, right?
It's true. There you go.
I really like really bright color when they're with neutral grays and dark. It's something that I really like, yes.
It's a nice little pop of color. And we have Sigue 7 on PC with an Atlas.
Okay, so this one was Megan's. This was Megan as an alias.
This is an alt account of Megan's.
Her toothpaste fashion.
We've got a lot of like interesting attachments and stuff going on here. So, what are your thoughts?
You know, I know people love the giant sword. For me, like it was originally a bug, a scale bug that went out, and we just kind of embraced it. Still doesn't sit right with me.
Really?
Too much. I think it's too much. I don't like it.
You don't like living up a Monster Hunter fantasy in Warframe?
Well, I think more.
There you go. I'm very upset that I told you this information yesterday. So everyone, we had no distribution. It was actually incredibly difficult to
it's too much. I don't like it.
You don't like living up a Monster Hunter fantasy in Warframe.
¿Cuál es el código secreto que os permite tener nuestra bandera?
So we're continuing on the content-based fashion with deluxe skins, and some of these concepts are players have how to get some sword to upset Jeff. You can equip. It's the Chroma Deluxe sword skin. I can't remember the name right now. It's but you equip it to the star and get this magical
This is Jeff upset.
This is very upset that I told you this information. So thank you everyone. Actually incredibly difficult to put these submissions. I have to present these wonderful fashion frame submissions. So thank you guys. So we're continuing on the customization fashion frame with deluxe skins, and some of these concepts are players have some updates to share. First, of course, is the deluxe treatment to Hydroid's Kraken as well. So, there you go. As far as I know, his tentacles are also going on deluxe as well.
I love
how the back turned out with that. So the code is going to be
mantenimiento de la cuenta
for Hydroid, kind of like
desvinculo.
But what is a space pirate without a floating space squid companion? So, look at him go. He's a little cute
and
little
the code is really cool, the physics on it. It always has like a presence of motion to it, like it's underwater. It's very subtle, but it came out really nice.
And we, of course, had to give the deluxe treatment to Kraken as well. So, as far as I know, his tentacles are also going to be deluxe as well. Oh no! He's just going to kind of float around.
Yeah, they're just going to scratch.
Sad Duriga. I'm so excited for this guy, but what is a space pirate without a trusted floating space squid companion? Of course. So, look at him go. It's a skin, right? So it'll be...
El deluxe de
El año pasado me llegó un día más tarde.
Sí, a mí también, a mí también. Mientras yo hacía esto, mostraba el de los
Are we using the same effects on it? No, like, will his animated at all? Like, will people slap his face on the
It's good.
me ha dicho que me lleve, tío.
I think it's going to go like that first.
Oh no! He's just gonna kind of float around.
Yeah, they're just going to hang around.
Sad Neriga.
Yeah, it's going to
Mamá, deja.
fit into the water a bit too long.
Oh no!
Sacado otro.
Lovely.
Muchas gracias.
And then we, of course, with keeping with the pirate theme, we've got this spear gun. It's a spear, right?
Spear gun, hostia, yo no me acordaba de esas armas, tío. Es una skin de luz, ¿no?
The end of the coat is going to have effects to make it feel like the end is made up of water. And I think Lager pitched a fish ephemera that we're going to see if we can get in as well.
Really? Oh, I'm already envisioning all of the cool underwater themes I can come up with. That's exciting. And then we've also shown the Gara Deluxe. We've both shown these concepts on previous dev streams. I think it was in October of last year, which I guess was the month of deluxe skins. And we have a progress report to show. This is by Daehan. And Greg took a stab at this.
Pun intended?
Well, oh, she's so beautiful.
I feel like, did Megan collaborate on this as well?
Oh my!
Like, it even has the ponytail and the default colors, or I don't know, something.
It is the theme. It's the theme of this deluxe social distancing, because you don't want to be too close to this.
Yeah, very dangerous. The glass looks extremely sharp, and it's. I think I remember Greg mentioning that we're using some of the updated glass textures on her. So
it's neat to see that sort of solved, because I think some of the original Gara explorations were sort of shattered glass and broken glass, and it's very crystals, glass is such a tricky thing to deal with in any medium. It's really neat to see that kind of you come back and figured it out.
So we will eventually post this on our social medias, which the community, you guys would have seen this already and possibly already successfully translated it. But if you translated Zephyr in Tenobet and Deluxe in Japanese, congratulations, Zephyr Deluxe, another Lager piece here. Wow.
So the cool thing about this is Lager's also a fan of Warframe, and when they did the Hydroid Deluxe, it was kind of assigned to them, and this was a request because Zephyr, of course, we know how long Zephyr's been waiting for. So yeah, this was the pitch, and it's kind of, a little bit of Wipeout inspired. The personality kind of gives you that Jet Set Radio vibes, and they put a lot of work, a lot of really cool thought into kind of like the corporate logo kit that goes with it, and a lot of thought going into the kind of how this can be color customized. So I think there's going to be some really cool possibilities with this thing. And I'm hoping, if we have enough time, that we'll be able to do an animation set for this one as well.
So deluxe animation set for Zephyr Deluxe.
That's right, yeah. She deserves it. How long have we been waiting for?
Yeah, and I guess we should just be clear that this is not necessarily replacing one of the Carrie's original design.
No, so I feel bad. I jokingly threatened Carrie that we were going to take his design away and have an artist finish it. And he I was really kind of teasing, but there was genuine heartache when I said that to him. So we are, just so everyone knows, Carrie is a very, very hardworking member of the Warframe art team. Has a lot on his plate, so he's deserved to kind of poke away at this whenever he gets the chance. Maybe it was our fault for unveiling it.
So it's like a passion project almost. So Carrie's passion project is still happening. He's just obviously.
Everyone be nice to Carrie.
Yes, everyone be nice to Carrie. So we actually have an announcement here from the Tenogen team, and if you are a Tennogen artist or you're an aspiring Tennogen artist, we have the following items coming into the program. So we have some select melee weapons, so blade and whip, sparring, claws, and machete. All of the remaining landing crafts are coming as well. So the scimitar, the Xiphos, and the new Nightwave landing craft that you would have gotten in the rank 30 rewards for Nightwave Series 3, and shoulder armor pieces as well. So all of that will be coming in the next week or so. Also, more details on that will be coming, so you can get prepped and ready to start Tennogening some new stuff. And next up here, we have some weapon skins.
This is a really weird story. One day I was going through Twitter and I saw a picture of a gun that is called Le Fâcheux 20 rounds double-barreled revolver. And I was like, oh, this gun looks pretty good. It was like interesting shapes and stuff, and I was like, oh, we should do something with this for Warframe, right? And actually then I read the actual Twitter, and it was somebody saying, we should do a gun like that for Warframe. I was like, okay. And then I just asked Liger if they was interested about the idea, and then immediately got on it, and I didn't have to do much, and then now we have like a full bundle of this theme. So interesting story.
Yeah, so we have a shotgun skin, we have a pistol skin, and we also have the melee whip skin that you mentioned will be coming in a bundle. And we also have a Sindana kind of in a similar style, but that will be coming separate from the skin bundle, I believe. And something we haven't shown for Nightwave yet, for Series 3, is this little doodad here. Very interesting. Anything we can say?
Well, there is going to be a custom boss fight for the end of this series. I don't know if that's too much to say. And the villain does use a custom sword that we're hoping attainable.
And then we kind of, in the similar Orokin style, we have this gentleman here, Balas's brother or uncle, related somehow.
I don't think there's a family relation.
Okay.
It's just this was just a really good opportunity to kind of introduce another Orokin presence in the game. And Sam kind of built on, this was all Sam that kind of designed the Glassmaker, but he built everything off of the foundations that Keith kind of laid out when he was kind of designing Balas at the time. So I'm not sure if he really has anything he wants to kind of speak to.
It's really exciting to see when you sort of establish a new culture and a new kind of group, to see another designer kind of come in, and in this case, there's always this risk of everyone looking like they showed up to the party wearing the same thing. So, which really gets the depth and the feel of the culture and the designs and things like that. So when you have other designers come in with their slightly different aesthetic takes, and they feel like it really makes the character feel like a different person with a different background, and possibly from a different location, because I mean, it was such a huge sort of a thing you're touching upon, and we're only touching upon it in these little ancient hints so far. So you really have to make this sense that it's seeing the tip of a huge iceberg.
And we've seen a little bit of hints here and there as we've progressed in the Series 3 episodes. Just some little elements here and there, at least from what I've noticed, pulled from the lovely blue gentleman.
And there is story nuggets in there that kind of leads you to his background.
So now we're going to step in a totally different world from the Corpus, from the Grineer. We're going to jump into the Infested faction.
This is exciting, yeah. Over the last couple of years, we've expanded the Grineer. We just put out an update that expanded the Corpus, and the Infested have definitely been a bit neglected in that realm. So we've kind of started work on building up the Infested faction, new enemy designs, and they've been in production for the last little bit.
So what do we have here?
Oh, Keith.
Oh, Keith.
I think this was even unsolicited, Keith. I think one day you just kind of gave us this amazing drop of, hey, here are some ideas we have that I had for a bunch of infested enemies.
I think it was just like a little note where sort of infested, maybe to be determined. And so I was like, well, okay, I want to take a shot at that then.
Yeah.
And it's really, the infested are really fun, like any kind of Lovecraftian visual challenge, because they have this sort of principle of being slightly hard to describe, formless, that kind of thing. And you can't just do that because that makes a mess. So you have, what you do is you kind of have to make these forms and principles, and then you mutate them. So in a weird way, I kind of have to almost imagine what this might have looked like before it was infected, how it maybe formed as like a polyp or a tumor off of another thing. So in a way, there also always this sort of this sense of tearing and changing and drooping and bulging. So there's sort of like an accelerated type of evolution happening in one organism. So I'm trying to kind of unlock more of those principles and use those.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And here's the infested femur, bulging and nasty as described. And, it's got a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, really good squash and stretch going on.
Amazing sense of weight.
Yeah.
Nasty as described.
Not much of a femur coming through in the name, but
I really like the tiny hands.
I love the tiny hands. They're so great. Especially there's a detail in there when it's doing the vault animation, just these little toes.
Oh, do they actually grapple on?
They kind of wiggle a little bit. It's so good.
Incredible. And then we have the infested bone blade.
I think this is part of the same batch that Keith dropped.
Yes. This is sort of one of those ones where I think you'll see it better in the upcoming shots where they've interpreted so perfectly, where you can almost see a form of someone almost like laying down with their legs up, so you sort of see the head down at the bottom. It's almost like a hint of a figure or something that's originally there.
That's amazing, because I didn't get to talk to you when we built this, and I was going to ask you if that kind of came through, if that was what you were thinking when it came through.
I mean, I always try and imagine, or even if it's just a sketch or a doodle, I always try and have to kind of think through everything along the way, because otherwise I don't want to go back and have to change the original gesture. So I always try and think through the whole thing in every angle. So yeah, and that's again, you guys always interpret it so perfectly.
And we have some more nightmare fuel, maybe for you.
It's so good in motion. So it has a custom spawn. So it can kind of like anchor to pieces of the geo, come in and out.
Look at him go!
And it's like they did an awesome job. Like this thing is, they've managed to give it a pretty good personality, for a pretty abstract form. It's always exciting to kind of see these things come to life.
Whoa, what's happening here?
So it can kind of spawn projectiles.
That's his namesake, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's vertebra. It like grows new vertebra and displaces its spine, then shoots them out like plate discs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It worked out, the theme just worked out so great in function. It's really cool to see.
And then we have this creepy crawly. The Ashen, I believe. It's named Infested Ashen.
Just to get a sense of swarm. Because that's a really good quality in game to the infested, the kind of the overwhelming nature of it. So these guys will have a really good flair to that.
That's just great. Your wig gesture is awesome.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. And again, just really good use of stretching out the body to kind of emphasize the actions.
It's a little roly-poly.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh boy. There you go.
Yeah, it's just really cool additions to the enemy variety.
And then not only are we expanding on infested enemies in the faction, but we're also exploring the infested weapons as well. Here we have the infested claws.
So this is a design and a model from Mikita. one of the goals here was to have something lively, so he tried to have like lots of thought that move to give like this sense of like life, right? It's a creature on your hand. And he wanted to do something else too. You can see it in this shot, but the claw extend of like twice the horn, like their size here. So it will reach really far away, and when you see it extending, it's pretty ridiculous and bring some very creepy silhouettes. So very interesting.
I love the silhouette. Nikita did an amazing job with the shape design of this, because it has like a really complementary and just a really like natural flow from the player's arm. It feels really nice.
And we're adding to the arm cannon category of weapons. So the Shadoo is getting a buddy of infested nature, and this thing is monstrous.
It's huge.
So on this one, Kaz wanted to give like to give you the feeling that you are like a living creature on your arm. So everything will be moving and will be very gross. And something else that she wanted to convey is like a sense of power. So you can even like feel like it's like just muscle going through each other, like just like a arm.
So yeah, she did a really amazing job. Like it's such a thoughtful design that it's actually functional in game now. And, the way she thought about it, the way it was built to animate, just the ambient animations it has on it totally conveys everything Lucas just said that she was going for.
It's got, I know we've had people in the past, some of our players say, oh, I would love to, like, basically dismantle the Juggernaut and slap it together as an arm cannon piece. So I'm sure everyone out there who's had that kind of, like, vision will be very happy with this. And we've also got some nifty little attachments coming as well in the Infested faction.
So it's a small one, and you can see it right now, but you have those kind of like tubes coming out. Then like Jeremy will work it, will work the ethics to be like there is spore coming from it, so it would be like, and again, like everything will be moving. You will have kind of like a creature on your backs.
I'm getting a lot of the sense that with our team's kind of take on making the Infested really lively, because they are the most organic faction in the game. So it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun kind of bringing these creepy, kind of very lively, almost unsettling like parts of the Infested to life in this kind of new future, I guess you could say, for the Infested.
Yeah, I mean, like in Warframe, you know, it's a very, we try really hard to be like very friendly to the artists that work on it, to have some creative freedom and explore it. And the Infested is such a great opportunity for those guys. They're just kind of flex the muscles and really just make some weird stuff.
But it's awesome. Like it's a part of Warframe that I guess we haven't really seen in a while. So
yeah, it's really nice to build.
Breathing new life into that.
And looking at the hearts, you really don't want to meet the artist. Like, can you look at this? Like, what's like, you have a problem.
And they're all the nicest people, though. Right, it's like, you know, like, remember when I was first going to meet Keith, I had this build up in my head, like, oh, yeah, how scary is this guy going to be? And he's like the nicest person on the planet.
I can attest to that. And we're moving on into Infested companions. So we're adding to our companions with Infested, I guess, versions of the Kubro, which we see here, with the head and tail variations that you would expect from making your companions.
It's great. There's a real sculptural quality, real regal quality. It reminds me of Assyrian lion statues. Really, really good.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the cool thing. Like, there's like a neat spin, which you'll see on the next slide. I kind of like that the Kubro feels a bit more like a cat, and the Kavat feels more like a dog.
Oh, I never picked up on that, but yeah. So here's the Infested Kavat, again with the head and tail variations that you would expect. I'm learning things. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and this guy, his head is rigged in a way that whenever the jaw opens, the head splits open.
What?
It's kind of gross.
All right, so we're nearing the end of our panel here, and we have one more thing to show in the infested area. And it is a fan favorite, but infested, a domestic drone in the infested fashion.
I think they were just brainstorming, and then I think it came from an artist or something like that. We caught it somewhere, and then we were like, oh, it's a good idea, but it doesn't make sense, right? So.
Because it's kind of anti-clean.
Exactly, right? It's infested. It's not clean. The goal of this one is like it's not gonna clean your shit. It's gonna leave some dirtiness everywhere. So this is kind of like the inverse. So by inversing its purpose is like
to give Kaz credit, like she did build all of that, and it was hilarious to see it. Once the animations got applied to it and see it come to life, it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, 100% Kaz took the idea and just look at that.
Look at him big! Oh, his little legs! Yeah, he's kind of like the anti-domestic drone because he makes mess, and I wonder how the other domestic drones are gonna feel when the infested drone
follow it. They just follow it.
So I believe the effects are still work in progress, and the sound team I think is gonna have a fun time giving this little buddy some life, some custom sounds there too. But that's it. That concludes our look at the infested, and it also concludes our art panel for this year for TennoCon 2020. So we've shown a lot of stuff, and obviously I want to give a big thanks to our panelists here. Thank you, Jeff, Lucas, and Keith for all joining.
Our pleasure.
Always super
Thank you, Danielle. You kind of like massive kudos to you for organizing all this. You made it so easy because we have the chaos of getting everything ready for TennoCon, and this was probably like it was a breeze, and it was just really cool of you to handle all this for us. So thank you very much.
I'm super happy to present it because obviously, there is such a massive amount of people that work on Warframe on the art team, and this is really just kind of a portion, like a snapshot of the monumentous amount of work that goes into, putting these kind of things into the game and making them a reality. So
I'm really glad you said that because there's like you said, it's just a fraction of the art team, and at the moment the art team is just killing themselves getting the TennoCon content ready to go. And we don't really cover. There's such a broad range of content. There's the layout artists, the effects artists, there's lighting. That didn't get a lot of coverage on this panel, so definitely want to make sure that their work is appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know it's kind of sad that we didn't get to do our live event this year, but I'm really glad that we could at least put this together and share the work we've been working with you guys in the community. And again, just really cool to see people that we haven't seen in 3 months. Danielle, Dean, and even Keith on camera. It's really cool to see you.
Yeah, thanks. I would say thanks. Thanks, Danielle, for setting it all up. Thanks to everyone at DE. It's always such a pleasure working on this with everyone. And thanks to everyone for enjoying all our hard work with the game, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here, and I think it's not sad. It's just different, and look, I'm excited about it. So.
Yeah, we miss having you guys here in London, Ontario, Canada, but we hope that you enjoyed us bringing you some of what the Warframe art team has been working on. And with that, we are ending our segment and we're moving on to the next. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining again, and we'll see you later.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Megan. What's up? I was wondering if you could pass along a question to Helen about the sound team. Sure. What is the sound team's favorite vegetable? Great question. Hey, Helen. Oh, Megan, didn't see you there. I got a question from Danny about the sound team. Oh, yeah? What's their favorite vegetable? For sure, Brussels sprouts. You can pass that along. Sweet. It's Brussels sprouts. Tight.
Welcome, friends. Buy my merch while it's hot. I'm desperate to sell all this stuff today. For no particular reason. Don't you know there's a sale going on? And that it's incredible?
Hello, and welcome to a pre-recorded message from me, Megan Everett. This year, we've brought our annual Tenno Trivia competition live and online for everyone to participate in. If you're watching TennoCon on Twitch and would like to participate, you'll need to give us permission to see your Twitch username. There are two ways to do this depending on which Twitch interface you're using. The first way is to look to the right of the screen and click the quiz kit icon that looks like this. If you select Manage Access and then press Grant, this will allow you to see your username on the leaderboards during the show. If clicking the quiz kit icon does not give you that option, don't worry. Simply click the puzzle piece icon at the bottom of the screen, select Manage Access, and press Grant on the pop-up. If you're joining us on your mobile device and would like to play along, you'll need to use the official Twitch app. Click the quiz kit icon in the top right of the chat window and press on the 3 vertical dots. Select Link Identity and confirm on the pop-up window. And you're all set to play. At the end of the show, a pop-up window will ask you to enter your email address. This is very important as any prizes you may receive will be sent to that email. That's it. Good luck and have fun.
What is relaxation? It's a choice. Diverse commerce. Tenno-loving and pet-friendly. It's kicking back. It's sun-kissed meat slabs. Drums of unnerving milky fruit. Unusually big doors. Large mutant birds. Friendly faces. And plenty of rugs. It's sitting in the fresh air on the beachfront. So what is relaxation? Well, come see us in Cetus. Call 1-800-555-CETUS for your free vacation planning DVD. That's 1-800-555-CETUS. Call today.
Okay, can you hear my mic? Danielle, are you okay? Hi Tenno, this is your friendly reminder to make sure your Twitch account is linked to your Warframe account so you can receive Twitch drops while watching TennoCon 2020. To link your Twitch account to your Warframe account, go to warframe.com/user and click the Twitch link to link. Make sure you're logged into the correct Warframe account that you wish to receive the Twitch drops on. This year, for watching TennoCon 2020 throughout the day, we are giving away a brand new hand cannon called the Athodai. During Tenno Live, watch for a free Hydroid Prime. Enjoy TennoCon 2020.
I'm Mark LaPointe, and I get to be the voice of the biz, and it's really cool, and thank you for all the biz love. And as the biz, I have a quick mission for you, Tenno. As Warframe family, we understand the words. Take that understanding and spread it in the world every chance you get, because we could really use it right now. Thanks a bunch. Oh, and say hi to your floofs for me. Love.
Hey everybody, my name's Max, and I voice Ballas. This is where I sit most of the time, creating strange noises in my mouth. This is a really nice job. I've been part of the Warframe universe us just over 4 years now, and it's been a wild ride. It's been amazing. So I wanted to say thank you to all the guys at Digital Extremes, the developers, players, supporters, everybody. You've been amazing. I really appreciate the support. Have a great TennoCon, and have a great rest of your summer. Look after yourself. Take care.
Well, if it isn't a whole lot of Tenno in isolation. Even if you can't turn up in person, at least this means that everyone this year can attend TennoCon all together. Remember, Stardust, that in times like this, to look out for one another and for yourselves.
Uga, Kino, Krunameta, over here. Your assistance is much required. Hi, my name's Sergeant Witchery from Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. I was the voice of Kanzu. And as you can see, I have a little more hair than Kanzu did.
Yo! Hello to all you Tenno out there. This is Maya Tuttle. This is my studio where I voice Nakak. I hope you have a great rest of your summer. Take care of yourselves. And if you need me, I'll be under Nana's blanket drinking a flask of hot chimo. Bye!
Welcome, Tenno, to TennoCon 2020. You have done well. And I'm Sean Phillips, the voice of the mysterious and powerful Teshin. Thank you. Be kind. Stay healthy. The Oracle would be proud of you.
Your Majesty, I have brought you work again.
He's on time for once. What a lovely little meat pie. Now, bring me more Kuva. See you later, meat suit.
Greetings, Tenno. I am Sarkanyo. This is Lucas Schudeman, who provides the voices of Tilrigor, Richter School, and the Treasurer in Warframe. But contrary to popular opinion, he does not provide my voice. So I will be using my own to instruct you to enjoy TennoCon 2020 this year from the comfort of your homes. Can I say anything? No, you cannot. Okay.
Well, hello, Tenno. I hope everyone's having a great TennoCon and that you're staying safe and spending those ducats wisely. And remember, browsing is always free. How fortunate for you.
Hello, TennoCon. This is Ed Kelly, voice actor. You likely know me better as
Pavos Granum. Would you like a seat at my new table? Perhaps alongside your masked friends, socially distanced, of course. Tell me, Tenno, what is it you desire?
Operator, it seems like ages since we last spoke. How have you been? You look spectacular, as always. This is Mike, the voice of Cephalon Orders. I hope you've been well and that you're enjoying TennoCon 2020. Just want to say thank you for being part of Warframe. It's been an incredible 7 years, and Ordis and I look forward to many more.
Hey Tenno, this is Cheryl Mebin, the voice of Nornite. Hello, from my family to yours. Say hello. Hello. We hope you're being safe during these difficult times and loving each other. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Tamara Fritz and I'm the voice of Utica and Profit Taker in Warframe. I hope everyone's enjoying this wonderful digital experience this year and that you're all staying safe at home. Remember, we all live together. Cheers, Sparky. Oh, hey there, Tenno. I didn't expect to see you. This is D.E. Screen, voice of Sarkis Rock, Captain Vor, and Aled V. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for being such a freaking awesome community and for literally killing me every day, every few minutes. You're such beautiful specimens. Next, we've got the Sounds of the System panel here at TennoCon 2020. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Sounds of the System panel for TennoCon 2020. I'm your host Helen and I am bringing you this panel pre-recorded with 3 other wonderful members of the Warframe team. I'll let you all introduce yourselves.
All right. Hey guys, I'm George Spanos. I'm the audio director at Digital Extremes.
Hey Tenno, I'm Eric. I'm a sound designer here at Digital Extremes.
And introducing Antonio.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Antonio. I'm the voice of Era from Warframe.
Wonderful. So thank you all for being here. Let's get right into our first question. I'm wondering how everyone has been doing with working from home.
Yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I mean, we've never encountered anything like this in the past, but lucky for us, working on the game, in a remote environment, works pretty well. So I think we're 4 or 5 months into it now, so I'm getting used to it at this point. But yeah, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, like George says, it's different, but it's great. We have all the gear that we need. We're connected in a way that we need to be to work on the game, and I think it's coming along really well. I've done a lot of work that we're happy with at home, and it's something I think we're all used to as audio guys. We have a home studio. So yeah, it's been good.
I mean, luckily for me, I already work from home, so there hasn't been much change for me there. So I'm just smooth sailing, just going right through.
Fantastic. I think this is a great time to show a video that Eric has brought with him today.
Yeah, so in Warframe, we make a lot of different creature vocals, and there's lots of different ways that we do it. But I just wanted to create this video to take you behind the scenes on one of the ways that we make creature vocals. So I take you through step by step on creating a simple but interesting creature. So yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Hello, Tenno. Welcome to TennoCon 2020. I'm Eric, part of the sound team. And today, we're going to be taking a look at how we make creature vocals. The first step is finding an object or a prop that makes an interesting sound. In this case, an oven mitt and a cutting board. Let's record it.
At this stage, we try to capture as many interesting performances as possible for things like attack and pain vocalizations. Once we've captured our performances, it's time to add some processing. Here's our performances before processing. And here's what it sounds like after adjusting the pitch, adding some compression, and some distortion.
Now that's starting to sound pretty interesting. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit of extra texture and character with my own voice. This is also the part where you get to make some goofy faces.
Now that we've recorded the performances, it's time to add some more processing. Here's what our original raw performance sounds like. Here's what it sounds like after adding some pitch, compression, and distortion. And here's what it sounds like layered with our processed oven mitt recordings.
That's starting to sound pretty close to finished, but I want to add one more Foley element on top of the vocalizations. This is going to represent the creature's mouth moving and smacking while it speaks. And for that, we're going to use Brussels sprouts.
Now it's time for the third and final round of processing. Here's what the raw recorded Brussels sprouts sound like. Here's what the Brussels sprouts sound like with a little bit of pitch, EQ, and compression. And here's what it sounds like with the Brussels sprouts, vocalizations, and oven mitt all layered together.
And that's one of the ways that we create interesting creature voices for Warframe. Thanks for watching, and thanks for playing. Have a great TennoCon.
are watching you.
You know, it's amazing what you can do with $2.47 of props, right?
That's all you need.
And a $2,000 microphone. Yeah, right, yeah.
It's very impressive. So my next question for each of you with your respective expertise, is there anything you wish that you would have known when starting in your industry that you might like to share with others who could be starting in your industry now?
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people who are trying to get into the industry get really concerned about equipment and what sort of, you know, plugins to buy and microphones and stuff, and you know, like Antonio said, you know, yes, you can definitely spend a lot of money on that stuff, but you know, it's your sort of ingenuity and your creativity that's the thing that matters, because you can buy the most expensive gear in the world, and if you don't have that creativity and that ability to come up with interesting sounds, then it doesn't really matter what equipment you have. So I would say definitely don't get hung up on that stuff. That stuff you can learn and you can build it as you go along. You don't need to mortgage the house when you first start off. So I think that's something important for people to keep in mind, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, voice acting is a little bit different than sound design, but kind of like what George was saying is that the creativity and the ingenuity that you have with, you know, working with what you have is good. But I want to talk to anybody who is aspiring to be a voice actor or is working in voice acting. The thing I want to stress is don't feel discouraged, because endurance is the name of the game. You know what I mean? Like, you can have talent, you can work very hard, you can work at your craft. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get exactly where you want to be immediately, but that also doesn't mean that you won't eventually get there. You know, like by the time that I got to do Era in Warframe, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys before, but I've been a fan of Warframe for about 4 years now. So, of course, when I got the job, I, like, damn near peed myself. but I was only about a year into full-time voice acting when I got it, and I was not being kind to myself, worried if I had made the right move. So it paid off in the end, and like I said, I want to stress endurance. You'll get there, keep working at it, keep plugging away, and just trust the process.
Yeah, I guess one thing I could add to that is do your own research. Don't wait to learn something. If you're interested in something and you want to get into it, sound for example, I would say do it right now. As soon as you're done watching this, look at some information, watch YouTube videos. We're lucky to be in a time where information is plentiful. So yeah, just get to it. That's what I wish I'd known.
Cool. So, for Warframe specifically, working on sound design for this game, how far along in the design process is a character when you begin the sound design process? Do you have anything for inspiration, like character designs, or just an idea?
Yeah, I mean, what we try to do is we try to get the intent, right? So what faction is the character, first of all, you know, because that dictates the sound. You know, what kind of powers or weapons does a character going to have that we're going to have to design for, and what does a character look like? So looking at the concept art, looking at the models, all of that stuff helps us to form our idea of what the character should sound like, and then it's trial and error. It's just iteration. It's trying different things to see what works, and sometimes what you think works in isolation, when you put it in the game, maybe won't work because it'll clash with the other sounds, or it won't read properly when the character is enough of a distance. So it's a constant kind of
get source and try different things until you nail the feeling. And sometimes the feeling doesn't have a precise thing to it.
Trabajo en Warframe ya por tanto tiempo, uno ya sabe cómo cada facción debe.
Yeah, it's funny when you're working on an emotional experience. After working on Warframe for a while, you kind of just know what you should feel like. You iterate, like George was saying.
La forma que se debe sentir, pero uno ya sabe cuando lo tiene.
Para Antonio, hay algunas
Try
cosas
different things until you nail the feeling. Doesn't have a precise thing to it, but you know.
So for Antonio's era to get to that sentiment.
la postulación para el Afro.
Okay, so there was a few things. When I saw the audition for the job, before I even got the job, the inspiration that they wanted me to draw upon was Commodus from Gladiator. You know, they wanted him to kind of sound pompous, arrogant, you know, conniving, cunning. So I was working with that, and the first thing that came to mind with me, I'm like, all right, let me try and relate this to another character that might be in a video game that I already know of, that might be related. And for anybody who might be a fan of Destiny, I came up with the character of Impulsada. So I was like, okay, that sounds pretty decent. I worked with a similar voice in another game just before getting the role for Era, so I kind of took the inspiration from both of those characters, from Gladiator and from Destiny, kind of married them together, and then I proceeded to do the audition, which couldn't have been more than like 3 or 4 sentences, probably like 22 times, because I was so nervous I wanted to get it. So apparently, I guess somewhere in like the 20 times that I did it, I must have hit the right key somewhere, so that's how I got there.
Yeah, and that's important for any aspiring voice actors. You know, definitely give people, when people want you to audition, definitely give options, because sometimes, you know, even if the brief says one thing, feel free to kind of riff on it a bit, because you never know. It might be something where, you know, the writers or whoever's listening to it will go, hey, that's a great idea, and that could be the thing that separates you from the other people. So,
absolutely, play is the way to go. Just like you were saying with like sound design, like get started today, like both you were saying that it's the same thing with voice acting. Like play, have fun with it, explore your options, and you'll be surprised what you can come up with.
Wonderful. So my next question is, I'd like for you to walk us through the process of voice acting and directing when the voice actor and the sound designer can't be in the same room.
Yeah, I mean, for us, on our part, you know, the first step in the process obviously is getting a casting sheet ready. So figuring out, like Antonio said, what, you know, are there any other characters that are existing that we can tell the actor about that will help them get into the role? So that's the first thing. And then coming up with a few lines for that person to audition. Then once we select, we go through all the auditions and we select the actor for the role. Then it's a matter of a Skype call with the writer and going through line by line. And making sure that we hit all the beats that we want to hit, and all the lines are read in the right way. And then we get the files delivered to us here at DE, and we edit them, and we mix them, and I'll show you a bit of that later on. And then we designed it into a character voice if that's what it needs. Some characters don't even have any additional processing put on them, so it really just depends. But from our perspective, that's basically how it goes.
Yeah, on my end, it's pretty straightforward. It's exactly as George said. Like a lot of work that I do, I'm not ever in the room or in the same state as the people, sometimes not even the same country. And usually like the line by line thing is how we like to do it. Like I'll give the client a few different, you know, voices or, you know, different options to work with, tones, whatever. And once they set it, we'll go through line by line, or if they want, I can just read it off and they'll stop me if they think something needs to be changed. And if not, we'll just go right through to the end, and then I'll send off the file, and I wait to hear what the finished product is.
Now, I understand we have another video to show everybody that is from the sound team here at DE. It's from a new member that maybe people haven't seen before, so I'm wondering, George, if you could give us a little intro to who we're going to be hearing from in this video.
Yeah, so I think that we're talking about the same thing. But Jason Graves, who's a great composer, as a lot of Warframe players know, Keith Power has worked on a lot of the music for the game. I've done some of the music for the game, and we're both obviously still actively involved. But we wanted to have another person's point of view on some of the music in the game as well. And so Jason was recommended to us. He's fantastic. He did the music for Deadlock Protocol this last season, Nightwave, Glassmaker season, and he's working on something that will be coming out very soon. actually as well. So yeah, let's see his video. He's going to take us through the process of how he wrote music for Deadlock. It's really interesting actually.
Hey there, my name is Jason Graves, and I'm a composer. Now, normally I would be filming and working from my recording studio, but as luck would have it, it's under complete and total construction at the moment. So like many other people in the world, I am coming at you from my glorified master bedroom. I recently wrote the music for the Deadlock Protocol, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to take a closer look at some of my favorite parts of those tracks. Now, when I first got into music, I actually started on the drums, so I'm really a drummer at heart. And I think when you're talking about action music, especially, the drums really have an important part to play. So here we have the Corpus faction combat track from the Deadlock Protocol update. And what you're seeing essentially is a representation of what you hear in the game when the music plays. So each one of these squares that you see is a different sound that's playing. And as I slowly scroll down, you get a sense of the overall picture of what the music sounds like. Blue is drums, for example. Purples and greens are synths. I think there are 92 tracks in this particular combat track, but what we're going to do is take a closer look at the drums. Now, traditionally speaking, the Corpus music has really been more on the tech electronic side of things, and drums and percussion is really no different. So you've got a mixture of what we call organic sounds, meaning drums you would hear in the real world, like a taiko drum or a snare drum, and then synthesized percussion, things that might be coming from a drum machine or maybe that I ran through a guitar amp or something like that. So it's really cool having this kind of hybrid approach because it sort of fits with the whole idea of the Deadlock Protocol, but also it helps cut through the mix and really gets an exciting, driving kind of feel to the drums. I'll admit that I am a drummer. That was actually the first instrument that I learned, so I really do love putting together drum parts. And a lot of times I think of them in three sections, sort of a low, medium, and high in terms of the pitches. So low would be something like this. Medium would be something like this.
That's the organic percussion. Then we also have some.
And then this would be high.
Let's start with a low drum machine.
So on their own, they sound pretty neat. But what's really great is when you start stacking them up.
Nice and low and meaty. Here's a nice mid sound that's just a regular sort of electronic drum loop that I put through a little tiny speaker that was distorted.
So that's the organic percussion. Then we also have some process percussion. Let's start with a low drum machine that I ran through a guitar amp.
It's like a beautiful electronic drum sandwich.
Nice and low and meaty. Here's a nice mid sound that's just a regular sort of electronic drum loop that I put through a little tiny speaker that was distorted.
So really we've got two completely different sets of flavors for the drums. And what's really magical...
And then some more drum machine sort of cymbal sounds. So they're all different, but they're all complementing each other. It's like a beautiful electronic drum sandwich. So really, we've got two completely different sets of flavors for the drums. And what's really magical is when you start putting them all together.
I'm a huge synthesizer geek. So any chance I have to use some of my keyboards, I go for it immediately. I thought we take a quick look at
That is how I composite and mix my drums.
So they're all different.
Now, I'm also a huge synthesizer geek, so any chance I have to use some of my keyboards, I go for it immediately. And I thought we'd take a quick look at a few of the keyboards I use for Deadlock Protocol. So I really focused on two specific synthesizers that I have, and the first one we're going to talk about is called a Nord. It's a beautiful looking keyboard, and it has a very, very distinct sound. And if any of you have played the game yet, or even watched some of the trailers, you'll probably recognize this theme. But it might sound a little different than you're used to hearing it. That's because this was the first version that I came up with, just using one of the synthesizer sounds from the Nord. And I realized that it was really missing something. In the mix, it just didn't have a lot of weight to it. So I grabbed another one and layered this with it. That's a little more like the sound we're used to hearing, but it still didn't quite have the cut that I wanted, so I added some distortion, which is this box right here, and some delay, which is this, and now we have this. So now it's got that sort of aggressive, super in-your-face kind of idea. The problem is, that by itself doesn't really do itself justice. But when you put the two of them together, now you've really got that final sound that you heard in the track. So what I thought would make an interesting contrast to that super aggressive kind of in-your-face lead synth sound is something a little more classic and less modern. And for that I turned to my trusty JX8P Roland synthesizer. This was made in something like 1987, so it's been around for a while. But it has a very distinct classic kind of synth sound, and it's what I chose to use for the melody. And all I'm going to do here is just play you the melody as I played it live into the computer, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Now what's beautiful about that is I literally did nothing to it. That's just coming straight off the keyboard. But that's the kind of sound that I needed, and a lot of times the only way you can get that sound is to go back to that sort of classic analog gear. So that's just a super quick look into my world and how much fun I have working on this game. I can't thank George and everyone at Digital Extremes enough for letting me play in their sandbox, and thank you as well for playing and listening.
Wonderful. So that is Jason on the sound team now. What a cool look at the music and what goes into it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there's parallels to it, the music and the sound design and the voice acting, right? It's like, it's all about trying things and seeing what fits and not being afraid to experiment, you know, which is really cool in what we do.
Okay, so speaking of design and each person experimenting, I'm wondering if each of you has a personal touch they've added to Warframe or some particular sound you've worked on that you're really proud of.
I'll let Eric start.
Thanks, George. I think some of the stuff that I'm most proud of, obviously, is in terms of the weapons. I designed the Corinth, which I think has gone over pretty well, and I enjoyed that weapon, being the big shotgun that it is. But other than that, I really enjoy working on some smaller aspects of the game, like background sounds, ambience as well, Plains of Eidolon, new content that we're going to be showing soon and releasing soon, and some of the creature vocals too. I did Nox. I didn't do his vocals, but I did all the sound design around Nox. I really enjoy him as a character. He was a lot of fun to work on. So yeah, I enjoy injecting my personality through different avenues like that.
Yeah, and I guess for me, one aspect that's near and dear to my heart was Octavia. Working on that Warframe was fantastic. It was really unique experience. Instruments for put it all together, came up with new tech for how, the way she would all work and how everything would get played back, and we got to put a music sequencer into the game, so it's pretty awesome. So Octavia is definitely a highlight for me in what I've done.
Honestly, just being able to contribute my voice to Warframe is more than enough. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I'm still pretty new, but I hope, we get to see more of my character, and I do get to add something that I can be really proud of for a long time, so I guess maybe next TennoCon I have a better answer for you.
There will be more era. There's more era coming for sure. So look out for that.
And is there a piece of sound design or voice acting that you admire from another video game?
Mind if I take this one first?
Go for it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this for a while when I saw this, and I couldn't decide because there's so many good ones. But I have to say, probably would be D. Bradley Baker's performance as the Gravemind from Halo. Like that, like he does. If you guys don't know who D. Bradley Baker is, he's a fantastic voice actor, but he's also really good at doing creature sounds. And I believe if anybody knows Avatar: The Last Airbender, he did Momo and Appa. He's done all like the flood sounds in Halo, and he also did Varix from Destiny. He's done a lot of stuff, but specifically his performance in as the Gravemind, because it sounded like there was like some layering going on where they changed his voice, or maybe he did the line multiple times, but he generally has a more nasally, higher pitched voice, and he played this character that has this big, deep, booming presence, like this ancient knowledge that is hunger and infectious, and it gets me still every time I hear him. So that's definitely, he's one of the greats too, but that's definitely the first thing that came to mind, or that I settled on once I thought about this for a little bit.
Can we pick like whole games?
Sure, why not?
This one's an old one, but it sticks in my mind, and I don't know. Well, I know why, because I thought the sound design was amazing in it. I don't know. I haven't played it in years, but the impression that I got when I played through this game, I don't know, it's probably maybe even 10 years ago now or more. This is like Xbox 360 days. Was Condemned. I loved that game. Was amazing. It scared the heck out of me. I couldn't stop playing it. The sound design was so well done in it. All the spatialization of sounds with the technology that they had at the time, and just the inventiveness and uniqueness of the sounds in that game still to this day stay with me. And really well done.
I just want to give a shout out to Elite Dangerous. Absolutely love that game, and I love the sounds of that game. The immersion level is incredible, and is only enhanced by the sound. And I just remember the first time that I picked up that game and then continued to play it with a nice pair of headphones, turning it up loud late at night. The lights are down low. It just took me right to space. Fabulous.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think those are great choices. Wonderful. I'm wondering now, for each of you personally, which starter Warframe do you most personally identify with? We have Excalibur, Master of Gun and Blade, Meg, a force to be reckoned with, and Volt, a versatile warrior.
I'm definitely Excalibur all the way. I don't know, it's just something about just the way Excalibur looks and his abilities. I always gravitate, and even testing, it's funny, like my default kind of loadout is Excalibur if I'm not testing another frame. So yeah, and if I'm playing through kind of like the tutorial, I always click on Excalibur. I don't know why, love Excalibur.
Excalibur's cool, man.
Yeah, it just looks cool, right? It's true. like if I was an artist, I wish that I would have been able to design Excalibur. You know what I mean? It's like you compare the amazing sounds or anything. It's like that to me in the sound equivalent is like an amazing sound. It's like he sounds amazing too, but he also looks amazing. So.
I would identify with Volt, I think, versatile warrior, if we're going to talk about how it relates to personality. I enjoy doing lots of different things. In terms of sound, I enjoy working on lots of different sounds. Yeah, definitely. Volt versatile warrior, I think.
I'm gonna have to agree with George and go with Excalibur. I mean, he's definitely my favorite. I've started 2 different accounts, and each time I always start off with Excalibur. I am a filthy casual, and I use Excalibur Umbra for everything. So yeah, I mean, the power, like it's the easiest frame to understand, to jump into the game, and also just a really powerful frame to come back to whenever you need to. Like whenever I need to break through something, I will absolutely use my Exalted Blade and just cut through everything. 110% every time.
What about you, Helen? What about you? You're not getting off the cheat sheet.
I think we have to represent Meg. I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Yeah, all starter warframes are here today. My next question for you is, what has your experience been like interacting with the Warframe community?
It's been great. I mean, for myself, you know, I'm on Twitter. I love hearing from people on there. You know, obviously TennoCon, obviously this year, it's not in person, but it's so heartwarming to have people, you know, show their love and appreciation for the hard work we put into the game. And also the constructive criticism and feedback, you know, it's always welcome. So it's just, you know, when you hear about people getting married in the game or getting Warframe tattoos or just dropping a note to one of the devs or community team, it means a lot to us, you know, because we create kind of in solitude and then we put it out into the world. And so having that feedback is really special, and it's I've never experienced that anywhere else in any other facet of my sound career. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to be able to contribute to something that has such a passionate fan base and such a passionate group of people who just love it all the same all together. Like George was saying, it's great to be able to create content for that and see how people react to it, whether they like it, whether they don't like it. And we read the forums all the time, so it's been great. So thank you guys.
The Warframe community has been amazing to me. I have only nice things to say about them. They've been super accepting. They have been very supportive. They love the character, and they like to reach out to me personally, which is awesome. I will never be the kind of person that tells a fan, like, look down at a fan. If you want to talk to me or you want to hit me up, like, I'll get back to you eventually in case there's a lot of people, but I will talk to people. I'm generally a huge nerd, like legitimately. So if you want to talk Warframe, we'll talk Warframe. You want to talk voice acting, we'll talk voice acting. And I've had plenty of people come up to me already, just kind of like, you know, from the community, just want to reach out, and I love it. Like it's such a. Sometimes I'll have a rough day, or like I said at the beginning, for voice acting, you feel like you might have the wind taken out of your sails. You're not sure if you're on the right path. Sometimes it's hard. Maybe jobs aren't coming in right now, or especially with everything happening with COVID, you kind of get down on yourself, and there'll always be somebody in the community who'll come up, say something nice, start a conversation, and it always makes my day a lot better. It lifts my spirit. So thank you to the Warframe community. You guys are freaking amazing.
So yeah, I just also like to give a big shout out to the rest of the sound design team. They do a fantastic job. Carl, Jeff, Willem, David, Mark, and Jem. We couldn't, you know, we can't do all this work without them. It really is a team effort to put all the sound into the game. So.
Okay, now I'm going to enter a bit of a speed round for the sound team. George tweeted out a few weeks ago asking what questions you might have or what sounds you were curious about, and I went and pulled the most requested sounds. So what we're going to do is I will play a sound, I will name the sound, and I'm going to ask the team to let us know how they made it. So our first sound is the ammo reload sound.
I think that's an old sound.
Yeah, sounds vintage.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's, I think it might have been, we have an old ammo box that we got from an army surplus store, and I think there's part of that in there, the latching in it. And we also actually went to a gun range, this is probably 5 or 6 years ago, where we recorded a bunch of stuff, so it probably has a mixture of all that stuff. But I think that's an oldie but a goodie. That's sound.
Yeah, it is beloved by the who are asking our questions. So.
Vamos a mostrar los sonidos más pedidos.
Yeah.
Sometimes the simplest
Voy a
sounds, right?
nombrar los sonidos primero y le voy a preguntar a los chicos cómo
So
lo hicieron.
next we have the sentient
Nuestro
voices.
primer sonido es la de
Creo que ese es un sonido muy antiguo.
Sentient destroyer of worlds. By your hand, expose their heart. By my edge, cleave it beating from its nest.
Yeah, I think the era stuff. I think I did the processing on that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's trying a bunch of different things. You know, there's some pitch shifting stuff going on in there. A lot of, reverb, a lot of, I think the end of each of his words, to give him kind of a unique kind of character and clicky sound, there are these like little magnetic beads that you can get from the dollar store, and when you kind of throw them up and catch them, they make this like kind of sound, almost like an electrically clacky kind of sound. And I think I recorded a bunch of that to put in at the end of each of some of his words, just to give him kind of a unique texture. And then the Hunhow, maybe you remember, Eric, I think I might have done the Hunhow voice as well.
Yeah, you did do the Hunhow voice, and in fact, I remember, I didn't see what you did to do it. I don't know how you did it, but I remember when we were working on that quest, and then I finally played that cinematic. That voice gave me chills, especially right at the end. I was like, okay, this is great. This works.
Well, it's interesting in the end, you talk about it, like, a really good way that I found to make something kind of stick out is, for the first part of it, he has this kind of really kind of airy kind of sound to his voice, and he's kind of reverberant, and he's kind of coming from everywhere. And then if you really want to get kind of into people's minds, you just dry it up, you take the reverb off, you take some of the processing off, and you just put it right in front of their face, and it just makes you go, ugh, like, almost like a jump scare. So I think that was definitely a part of processing his voice. But in both cases, it starts with great acting. I think sometimes people think that we can make, the wrong casting choice or acting that's not working well, or even script that's not working well, we can turn into something amazing. We can't. It definitely starts with amazing voice actors who can deliver a great performance. So.
Yeah, the sentients give me chills. Their voices are awesome. So nailed it from voice acting to everything you added. Did not know about the magnets. That's so cool. Love it. So next we have Gauss's ultimate red line.
I think that was Willem.
Yeah, Willem made that one.
Yeah.
And from what I saw, because when I went to his office while he was making it, he was using a plugin called a wave folder. So it takes like a very simple waveform, like a sine wave, and it folds it back in on itself. So by playing with that and using it in interesting ways, that's how you can create those like really cool wow, wow, wow, wow kind of vocalizations, which give that ultimate such like a unique feel. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great sound actually. Hearing that back, it's Gauss was a really one of our best sounding frames, I think, as well, for sure. Yeah, great sounding frame.
Yeah, people love him. He always stands out in the community's mind as one of the top sounds, for sure.
Awesome. Nice.
Next up, Deadlock Protocol Ambience.
Yeah, so we had a few of the sound designers working on that. Ambience for tile sets, as you guys can imagine, takes a lot of effort because there's a lot of different sounds that go into them to make them really feel unique and really make you feel like you're immersed in the world. So I believe that was Carl, David, and Mark, and probably Jeff did a bit of work on it as well, who did that tile set work. Sourcing sounds from everywhere, recording metal creaks, recording I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff they did. Some electronic sounds to put in there, processing things. So really anything that they could get their hands on to make it feel corpusy and make it feel high tech and electronic. So yeah.
Now finally, we have glitch voices and murmurs.
The Murmurs is a collection of people in the office, actually. We got everybody into the studio and recorded everybody saying different words and different things at the same time and sort of layered them up one after another to create sort of like this interesting, dense whisper atmosphere. And then we added some processing to kind of make them swirl around your head, give it some width. But a lot of that was just recording interesting performances.
Okay, now we have one more video to show. This one is about glassmaker voice processing, and it's brought to us by George. Do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, I think I tweeted out just if anybody had anything that they wanted to hear about, and I think there were a couple people who talked about this, and so yeah, it's, just again showing you a bit of the process and how we, do some voice processing on some actors.
Hey everyone, and welcome to TennoCon 2020. I'm George Spanos, and I'm going to be taking you through the voice processing of Nihil from Nightwave Season 3. Let's get into it. This is Ryan Watkins' Nihil performance. His voice suited the character we wanted to portray very well. That's always the first step, is making sure that the casting is right. It's very important. So we recorded Ryan, we got his takes back, we cleaned them up a bit, we took out some clicks or pops that may have been between the takes, combined some takes together to get a good performance out of the whole thing. And then we just kind of go in and we add a bit of light compression and some limiting, audio limiting, some equalization, and all this stuff really does is make sure that the sound file is even. So this is his raw performance with some of those mastering plugins.
I find chaos unsettling. Corpus dogma demands self-interest. Their culture is ordered by it. Fondue here was selfless.
So as you can hear, great sound, great tone and everything, but we felt like Nihil needed to be a little more kind of processed. It needed to have something a little special to his voice when you encounter him in the weave and you hear him, feeling like he's almost coming from within you and inside your head. So the first thing that we did was we added this plugin called Little Microshift. I love this plugin. Basically, it's a stereo widener. It makes it feel like he's really in your head right off the bat. So I'll play a bit of that.
I find chaos unsettling. Corpus dogma demands self-interest.
So, for those of you with headphones, you can hear that, it really sounds like it's coming out of the left and right ear. It really sounds like he's already in your head. So then we added wanted to give him a bit of a digitally vibe. So I added a bit of a comb filter, another plugin, the Alter Boy, great plugin, which pitched his voice down a bit. And yeah, it gives us this.
I find chaos unsettling. Corpus dogma demands self-interest. Their culture is ordered by it.
So yeah, as you can tell, it's changed his voice pretty drastically already. Made him feel a little more, oppressive, I guess, and a little more kind of commanding and that kind of a thing. So just made him feel a little different in that sense. Then we added a bit of panning and a bit of reverb because of his space. For those of you who played it, he's kind of in this wide open space. So we wanted it to feel like it was kind of coming from everywhere in that space. So this is what these sound like together.
I find chaos unsettling. Corpus dogma demands self-interest. Their culture is ordered by it.
So yeah, now you can hear he feels way more, in the space, and he feels like he's kind of panning around you, going from left to right in your ears and kind of surrounding you, which is the feeling we wanted. We also added a bit of delay to his voice, and a bit of this thing called crystallizer, which is kind of cool. It's sort of altering the pitch a bit and altering kind of the delay times in his voice. And then added another bit of equalization to finish it off. And this is what the final voice sounded like.
chaos, unsettling. A star demands self-interest. Their culture is ordered by it.
So that's the process voice.
Yeah, so that's the process voice, and I'll play you just the raw voice once again, just so you can quickly compare the two.
I find chaos unsettling. Corpus dogma demands self-interest. Their culture is ordered by it.
There you go. That's the processing for Nihil, the Glassmaker series. Hope you enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure Twitter will be very happy with that full, detailed run through of it. It is so cool to see it from start to finish, how that changes. The effect you were going for was very real.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I hope it'll be interesting for people to just see kind of where you start with and then where you end up with some of the voices. You know how you can drastically change the tone and really affect the character. So yeah.
I hope you're all ready now for a quick game that I've prepared for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yay!
I love games.
Excellent. So what I've done is pulled a few player descriptions of Warframe sounds from the Warframe forums, Reddit, and YouTube. I'm going to show those descriptions to you and then have you guess which sounds they are describing.
All right, let's do this. All right.
Our first one is Blank. Sounds like she runs a 3 a.m. radio program dedicated to the smooth sounds of the golden oldies and murder.
Or night.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we had virtual buzzers. We do now. We do now.
Yes. Strong start. Strong start.
Nice.
So next one for you. I love the sound design that Blank has. The creepy whispering and the crying is great. Really nails the interdimensional vibe somehow.
Whispering and crying. I'm trying to think of what this might be.
Is it Wisp?
Yes, you're 2 for 2.
Wow, Eric. Oh, but he didn't buzz in, so that doesn't count. Yeah.
Well done.
That's good. Well done, Eric.
Like God slamming his car door shut, everything about the Blank is ultra satisfying.
He's description. What? All right. I've seen that quote before. That's the chorus.
Yes, it is. Love when I hear a Blank wheezing, trying to breathe and almost choking on his own toxic gases. Sound guys nailed it. Yes.
I know. It's Nox, right?
It's Nox. You got it. During one of the sound dev streams, the Foley guys went on to explain that the Blank have a piece of sound layered in that is modified noise from an old automated Blank at a hardware store. And that's my favorite factoid, because I imagine DE employees with mics walking in and out of Home Depot.
Oh my, that's difficult.
Explain that something has a piece of noise layered in that is modified. You know what? Was this? Because I vaguely remember talking about doors at like either Home Depot or LCBO, which is the liquor stores up here in Ontario, and the sound that they make when they open and close, but maybe no, that might not be what this is.
Ding, ding, ding, you got it. It is doors opening and closing.
Actually, and I remember, now it's jogging my memory. I remember I think it was a Rona, which is another like home hardware store, and I remember walking in, and I think I was with my wife at the time, and I heard the door, and I was like, wait, I have to record this. And I had a recorder with me, luckily, and I'm standing there recording it, and people just walking by like, what the heck is this guy doing? But you gotta do it when you hear something cool, right?
Do you just keep your recorder with you in case you hear interesting noises?
I do. I try to keep it. I mean, now that we have cell phones too, if I have to, the quality is good. But yeah, it's better to record it with whatever you have, because you never know when you're going to need it. So yeah.
George, be honest. Do you sleep with the recorder?
Yes. Under my pillow. Record ready all the time.
Awesome. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the Sounds of the System panel for TennoCon 2020. I want to thank all of you for joining us, and especially our panelists here who took the time to answer all these questions. It's been a lot of fun. Is there anything that you want to add before we sign off officially?
I just like to say, once again, thanks to the players. You know, I mean, it's because of all of you wonderful people out there who play the game that we get to make all the interesting sounds that we get to do. And really, you know, it's a dream come true. Speaking for myself, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. So thank you for playing the game, and again, thank you for being such a great community and being so actively involved in what we make, because it definitely shapes what we present to you guys. So thank you.
I just wanted to thank, first of all, everybody at DE, of course, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this game, and to thank the Warframe community for being so awesome. It brings me joy that I can have a career doing something that I love and get to be a part of like the tour de force that this game is. So I wanted to thank everybody involved and everybody who plays the game. Thank you so much.
I guess those two guys said it perfectly, but I can just say thank you from the bottom of my heart for playing this awesome game. Thank you for being part of it with all of us, and stay safe, stay healthy.
So it's been a delight learning more about Warframe sound design, and thank you all again. We're going to keep things moving right along into our next segment for TennoCon 2020. We're going to be having the community art show hosted by DE Megan and me Invite. As for the rest of us, we will see you in the relay. Until then.
Take care, everyone. See ya.
This is your friendly reminder to make sure your Twitch account is linked to your Warframe account so you can receive Twitch drops while watching TennoCon 2020. To link your Twitch account to your Warframe account, go to warframe.com/user and click the Twitch link to link. Make sure you're logged into the correct Warframe account that you wish to receive the Twitch drops on. This year, for watching TennoCon 2020 throughout the day, we are giving away a brand new hand cannon called the Athodine. During Tenno Live, watch for a free Hydroid Prime. Enjoy TennoCon 2020.
Quiero comprarme este micrófono. Los streamers que están empezando dicen que este micrófono está de temas. O sea, el micrófono en sí es normal, pero el programa, el software es
What does it mean to glide? To be weightless. All effort is gone. What's left? When the thrusters kick in, you feel it down to your operator. K-drive. Check.
I got deals. Come to my sale, come to my sale. Gotta dump this merch or I go to jail. Just kidding, friend. But seriously, I need to sell this stuff quick.
Hey everyone!
Muchas personas preguntaron si lo tengo trivia. Tienen que ir al canal de Warframe y pulsar este botoncito, mira. Este botoncito que aparece en la parte derecha. Administrar acceso y pulsar este botón. No revocar, pero aceptar o desaparecer. Si no desaparece eso, aquí en la parte de abajo, donde no lo pueden ver, de
Hello, and welcome to a pre-recorded message from me, Megan Everett. This year, we've brought our annual Tenno Trivia competition live and online for everyone to participate in. If you're watching TennoCon on Twitch and would like to participate, you'll need to give us permission to see your Twitch username. There are two ways to do this depending on which Twitch interface you're using. The first way is to look to the right of the screen and click the quiz kit icon that looks like this. If you select Manage Access and then press Grant, this will allow you to see your username on the leaderboards during the show. If clicking clicking the quiz kit icon does not give you that option, don't worry. Simply click the puzzle piece icon at the bottom of the screen, select Manage Access, and press Grant on the pop-up. If you're joining us on your mobile device and would like to play along, you'll need to use the official Twitch app. Click the quiz kit icon in the top right of the chat window and press on the 3 vertical dots. Select Link Identity and confirm on the pop-up window. And you're all set to play. At the end of the show, a pop-up window will ask you to enter your email address. This is very important, as any prizes you may receive will be sent to that email. That's it. Good luck and have fun.
Delsin en Discord fue el que ganó.
Hello, Tenno, and welcome to the TennoCon 2020 Community Art Show live from the DE studio. My name is Megan Everett, and I'm one half of your host for the show. And if you're familiar with Primetime, or more recently Home Time, you'll know that we love Warframe fan art. And due to TennoCon 2020 being digital this year, we asked you to send us your art, cosplay, music, props, and everything in between. And we received over 300 submissions, which we will attempt to show you over the next hour. And it was extremely difficult to narrow down our tops of each category, which is why the goal for this art show is to show every submission we received in some capacity over the hour. Now, do keep in mind there were some submissions that we couldn't include due to not fitting the requested criteria, or unfortunately because of time constraints. I cannot express enough how much we appreciate your entries and everything you have all put into your work into. And now I would like to introduce my absolutely amazing co-host for TennoCon 2020 Community Art Show, Mia Bai.
Thank you, Megan. Oh my god, I'm super excited to be here. My name is Mia, otherwise known as Mia Bai across Twitch and social media, and I am so excited to see 300 art show submissions. So let's get the community art show started with the sketches category.
Sketches is up first. So here we go. And before we dive right in, let's really quickly break down what we're seeing here. So each collage that you see here will have a featured art piece surrounded by other submissions that are not necessarily done by that featured artist, minus a few collages that you'll see later on. And like I said, I really wanted to include as many of the 300 plus submissions as possible during this segment, so I tortured Dean with this task, and I do love how it came out, so thank you, Dean. I appreciate it. Alright, so to start us off, this first illustration is from I Am O'Mail. It is titled Revenge, and it is a shot of how I imagine one of the arcs from New War, or a full circle regarding an Excalibur Umbra with a Paracesis being served ballast on a plate. What do we think, Mia Bai?
I love this one. I think Antonio would be very, very proud. Like, I love the way the colors work together, and like there's so much detail, like in that crystal, like with the shading. I can't believe that you can get that from just sketches.
Yeah, Antonio, if you're watching, I'm very sorry. Very sorry.
Right, I think next up we have, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, 426's Geiger Vault, which is a H.R. Geiger inspired vault. And of course, I don't know if you know H.R. Geiger, but that was the designer on the original concept for the Alien movies and that franchise. That's really cool. So it's got this kind of like biomechanical type of thing going on there, which is really apt with like Warframe, I think.
And I don't hate the idea of like an alien coming out of Volt's mask. I'm just gonna put it out there, Dee. I think you can make it happen. And next up from Azu Nyan, this is titled Life and Death. It says, where is the light, there is darkness. Where is life, there is death. I've always loved sharp contrast, good and evil, black and white, life and death. This drawing summarizes this concept, and we love and Oberon, Necros together, symbolizing two different ends of the life and death spectrum. And I personally love also the use of flowers for life and what looks like thorns or dead flowers for death.
Like, I love monochrome pieces, and this is great. Like the way that the use of like negative space as the like tendril, thorny kind of vines like grow into Necros as well. It's really, I really love this one. Next up, we have Wendell Rex's Tenno, and it's an illustration of their in-game operator. I didn't think this was a sketch, honestly. Like, it's too detailed. Like the glare on the actual chest, the lighting and stuff. I thought this was a Captura for a second when I saw it at first.
Yeah,
like it's very impressive.
This gives me like goosebumps of how aggressive they've had to sketch this out, and it looks phenomenal. Wendell Rex, congratulations, great job. Moving on to Calamity Death. This is titled Throughout the Years. They said my main Warframes as time went on. I started with Meg, spent most of my time discovering the Origin system and its lore through Mirage, and Nova Prime was my first Prime, all linked to experiences and memories I've made in game so far. It's been more than 4 years, and there's still so many memories to make, and we love a squad photo. I also love hearing that Nova Prime was their first Prime, because it's like you gotta think to yourself, does that mean that's when you came into the game, or that was like the coolest Prime to you? So it's very interesting to me.
They just decided to farm that one out first. Yeah, it's possible. I love the line work on this one. Like, it's so clean, it's so unbelievable, and I like that they're a little bit thick as well, just because like they're kind of got a closer body type to the type that I have, and I appreciate that.
Oh, me too, Miavite. Me too.
We have Maxi Axolotls, Skateboard and Save Puppies up next, which they got this idea while doing their daily activities in the Valis, that being running around on the K-Drive and capturing Cooperdons. And I love the idea that they might not even have like specific things they're going for. Just on the daily, they just jump into the Valis and they just want to save as many Cooperdons as possible.
And if only DE we could scoop up Cooperdons, scoop up all the little conservation animals and take them with us. DE, please, please, we need this.
This is the real heart of Demos right here. It's actually just a puppy orphanage where there's a bunch of Cooperdons there.
That's the heart. The heart itself is puppies. We all knew it. We all knew it, Chad. All right, moving on from King Stingray 13. This is a Viking and Japanese base design for Gara. So if you saw the art panel, you'll know that we have a Gara Deluxe that is upcoming, and here we have a really, really awesome concept by a community member, Viking and Japanese base design.
I love the little detail, the highly detailed pattern work on the leggings and stuff. Yeah, it makes me just want to like have some kind of printed leggings to get that kind of design just going. That would be great. But like, yeah, it's a very unique look for Gara. Like, I love the whole like butterfly style glass coming out from the front too. That's great. Up next, Lady Bidna brings us Space Couple, which is a portrait of the Lotus, their main Valkyr, and their boyfriend's Trinity, drawn on a 24-inch by 36-inch canvas with Copics markers. I quite like how much color there is in this one, and it pops so well. I want this, it's like a playing card or tarot card almost with the edging there.
The things people can do with markers. When I was a kid, I just used to like, sniff them? Not sniff them, but like, no, they're the scented ones! No, the scented ones, like cherry and stuff, that's what I meant, like the scented ones. They're supposed to sniff. They're made to sniff. Oh, okay. Lady Minna, this is great. You're great. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on. Next up is a Cabrito Sentado, and this is a Trinity. They said, the badass healer in the whole game. I just hope it shows the love I have for the wonderful world you guys built. There's so many details in everything you create, and there's so many details in this Cabrito Sentado. It is mind-blowing to me that this is a sketch that you've done. The way you did an ombre, like how? I don't get it. I don't know the talent. I don't have it. So good.
Colors on this are great. I love the fact that the line work isn't actually like black ink or anything like that. It's all just colored line work, and it just blends so well together. And the color choices are spot on. I love that.
I mean, apparently, according to Jeff in the art panel, my color choices are not spot on, but I'm sure he'd have great things to say about Cabrito Sentado, right, Jeff? Moving on, we are actually into the next category of illustrations. Mia, let's see what our first illustration is.
Yeah, first illustration is that is, sorry, I've just managed to pull myself down onto the thing real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's wood gecko, and it's molecular skull, sorry, which is a Nova, Titania, Mesa, and Nyx in action, which looks like it just came straight out of an anime opening. I'm just gonna say that real quick.
And
so good.
we love an anime opening. This looks, like you said, straight out of an anime. The molecular girls ready to destroy. I love Nova Prime in her, what looks like about to molecular prime animation, one of my favorite animations in the game, and you've done her justice in here, and I just love a girl power squad. I'm all about it. And next up, from Evrian, this is titled The First Meeting. It is a digital picture of the giant space dragon / worm from the Naviri trailer meeting a lone Tenno in a strange world. It's the cover for a Warframe-themed design I've been contributing to, but that got delayed due to the pandemic. And this is unreal. It took me so long to actually look at this and see all of the details because there's so many. I had to zoom in, and like all of the background work is insane. The white lining that's going through all the cloud, it is so amazing.
Very, I love the amount of detail in the background, the way that the colors pop really well. It looks like one of those old school comic book covers, or like one of those old school science fiction type of books, like an Isaac Asimov type thing. But, the sense of scale there is kind of crazy, and I really love it. Next up is Gamli, and it's 44 small frames, and it's just as small. 44 people all miss her. Oh my god. And I the character in this is so good. Every little character has their own little thing going on. Garuda there with her little claws. She's slashing at something. I don't know what it is, but she's definitely slashing at something. And my Baruki boy's there too. And so I love this. And the Hydroid, oh my gosh darn Kraken, it's so cute.
Yeah, these are some of my faves when people do collages of Warframes, because there's just so much to look at. I could spend all day looking at. Obviously I see Anaro's first and I'm just yes, you are perfect. But Loki with his little decoy and his sunglasses, it's too perfect. And speaking of another collage, we have the wonderful TBG Karoo with a Tenno assemble, and they said, gotta catch them all. And use 4 of them because you're biased. And you're not wrong. We're all a little biased. We had to pick our faves. But again, such an incredible amount of work has gone into this. I've actually seen and watched the progress of it on their Twitter, and I know they wanted to really submit this for the art show.
We have Belfies, everyone, and they just said this is everyone, and this list looks like a Where's Waldo of Warframe. You could look at this.
So good on you for getting her done.
It's fantastic the amount of time that these artists must put into just take them all individually and create poses that are the variety of poses in there. No Warframe looks the same. It's extremely impressive. After that piece, everyone.
No van a saber por dónde les pegué. Vengo a apostarlo todo. Llegó la hora de ponernos serios.
And this looks like a Where's Wolf. You could look at this forever, find Baruch Prime awesome. I wonder if there's Prime variants.
One, so I think it's everywhere.
There's someone missing. Somebody go through that and figure that out.
It's actually a brilliant idea though. Someone needs to do a Where's Waldo and hide Where's Lotus? Hide Lotus in there somewhere, and I can actually see Pharaoh Katir. He's got his beautiful little stance there. Yeah, you really gotta zoom in for this one because like I said, it's everyone, so there's a lot of characters. But Chef Kiss, so good. And next up, from Volleys Nawag, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. This is called Naru Imperium, and they said a crew picture of the original set of Warframes, the first 8 Warframes at launch, with their railjack Naru Imperium and a Kubro, inspired by wartime photos where bomber crews take pictures with the plane they are serving on. And again, we love a squad photo, bringing their dog with them. Please let us bring all the animals on the railjack. I need more. I need to have just all the animals on the railjack.
That would be absolutely dope. This is so nostalgic. It just makes my heart so happy just to see the original squad right there. It's with the railjack, which is one of the most recent things too. It's just a really, really heartwarming piece. And, yeah, after that, we have Level X Levels Void Blessed Healers, which is an homage to their two most played frames in their deluxe skins. So we got Trinity Deluxe and Harrow Deluxe here, and they look fantastic. Like, this is probably one of my favorite skins in the game, the Harrow Deluxe skin, and it's really nice to see like this particular style of this. Almost looks again like a kind of like towerish thing. I want to hang this up on my wall, like with one of those big box canvas type of things, like next to each other, just mirrored. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, these are definitely two of my favorite deluxe skins in the game. Harrow, especially. I'm a huge Harrow player. I'm not a very good Trinity player, but I'll play Harrow any day, all day, and this is one of my absolute favorite skins. They talked about it on the art panel as well. But yeah, he's just a gorgeous boy. And moving on, this is from Miyamuli. This is daughter of Vox Solaris. It said, Little Duck returns to Fortuna with information left by Jublot. And I had to look at that on the wiki because I said, who's Jublot? And it's part of the lore, and I just haven't got to those fragments, so my bad, but love it.
You don't know all of the lore? Damn, I mean, I totally know who that is, and I've definitely read all of those things. But anyway, this art is fantastic. It looks kind of like a movie poster, and like I stan Little Duck anyway, so this is, I love this. It could be like RoboCop or a movie like that or something, some kind of futuristic take where she just hunts people down. I love it. And the way that like her clothes are just tattered, so good, so good. After that, Cosmic Lolly brings us many things, and that's something that they have and something that no one has.
Many things.
Yeah, many things. I don't know what, again, like, I've said this before, but this, like, kind of makes me feel, like, a feeling of emptiness or something like it.
Oh, yeah.
The grind in Warframe never ends. Like, they're just back on the ship, they're just like, okay, well, what have I got to farm next? Okay. Yeah, like that. But I love the colors in this one too. Like the shadows, these shadows really good.
Yeah, it's a great piece of, like you said, it might be them, they're tired, or maybe they're just wanting to hang out, had a hard day of work, there's a floof there, they can cuddle the cats asleep. They've done a good job.
I can see some lo-fi hip-hop playing over this for some reason.
Definitely some lo-fi hip-hop. Moving on, the wonderful Shadrad brings us Norgs. They said, a digital painting of the Prince of Fish, Norg, and some Norglings in a watercolor style. And I am just forever a huge Shadrad art fan, and we all love a Norg. And a Norgling is new to me, and I love it so very much. They're tiny little air sacs. I don't know what they are, but
I really don't know what you're talking about because all I see is Taylor. That's just Taylor's.
Taylor's getting roasted on TennoCon 2020. First her apartment floods, and now she's a fish.
Oh. I mean, it's quite apt that her apartment would flood, then I'm just gonna say it.
Sorry, Taylor, sorry.
Oh, it's incredible. The detail is so good. After that, we have Odd Me, and theirs is simply called Stoned through 2019. This is their clan, and they are called Infinity Stoned. I almost thought there was a different meaning to that before.
We all did.
Yeah, although it is quite hazy there, so you don't know what necessarily is going on. So, but yeah, I love the specific like color details on the different Tenno as well. You can tell that it's like their actual Warframe fashion frame too.
Yeah, like you can see like the ephemera on over on there, and you know that these are like their actual colors. They put work into it, and the operators below matching their Warframe. Love it. Love to see what your operators look like. And next up, from Elusive19, I hope you're gonna have some nightmares tonight because you're welcome. This is Alad V. Tenno, are you ready for your future? And Elusive19 said, for my first participation to TennoCon, I wanted to draw my favorite character, Alad V in his natural habitat. Thank you, DE, for Warframe, such an amazing game with a wonderful community. Well, Elusive19, thank you so much for drawing this and your kind words. It will give me nightmares for the rest of time because
it's a little unsettling. It does look like he's looking directly into your soul. It's got a bit of that wide smile on it, a bit of Joker-ish hair.
And actually, Rev said that this reminds her of when they make like SpongeBob into a human. So if you wanted those vibes,
highly detailed images. I love the corpus in the back. He's just like messing around with something back there. He doesn't know what he's doing whatsoever. He's just, it's what has he got us doing? I don't know. Let's just pretend we're busy. There we go. After that is Paperwicks, the squad. And when they first started playing Warframe, these were my squad's preferred frames, which was Valkyr, Excalibur, Rhino, and Nyx, which is a party to contend with. I absolutely love this one. Like, the colors are so good. It pops so much. Again, like the contrast of the space versus the very, very pastel clouds is so nice. And again, that variation in the different frames, because it's not just straight up your standard frames, it's their personal fashion frame as well.
Yeah, we can see the Nerberus armor on Rhino down there. And I gotta say, great fashions. That Excalibur's looking very Christmas colors to me, and you'll know I love a Christmas aesthetic. And this is also kind of in like the tarot card style that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Love to see it, print it, put it on my desk. Moving on. Next is from Virozer, sorry if I said that wrong again. This is titled After Party Groove. They said, my boy Anaros making some sick moves. He's also really great at rapping. I didn't know that Anaros was great at rapping, but I will take it in strides because I love Anaros no matter what, and he can do no wrong, and I just love the tie to TennoCon 2020 because everyone knows that if this was a physical event, that's exactly what we'd be doing. We'd be just having a great time and just being ourselves, and Best Boy Anaros, of course.
I'm glad that it exists in some form, especially with the work-like and Egyptian dance that Anaros is doing there. It looks like that routine is pretty lit. So maybe next year we'll be able to do that for real. And I hope there's going to be an after party. Oh wait, no, there won't be an after party.
You're already making decisions.
Yeah.
No after party next year. No.
Well, socially distanced after party this year, and then real after party next year. So.
Air high fives. All right, we are now moving on to the digital medium category. What do we got? Media.
We have a little tiny clem from Parquet Tuna, and this is their Warframe minifigures, which is 3D sculptures of Warframe minifigures, and this is Clem, and obviously, like, it's so good. I love that these low poly things, well, it's like any kind of artwork which is low poly, I kind of super dig, and this is just so chibi and so cute, and I love the way that the actual sound on it, like, wraps around the front, too. I want to get this, like, 3D printed out. That would be really cool.
I bet you could. 3D print it, color it however you want it. Whatever color scheme you want. It can be mine if you want to. Alright, moving on. From Squalobo, this is titled The Void, and it's an animated series they've been making in Source Filmmaker. It's about Warframes becoming displaced in a mysterious abstract world of metal structures. Their main goal is to find a way to escape, and they've made 2 official parts of the series, each taking many months to complete. I am always impressed with Source Filmmaker. We only are showing about a 30-second clip, I think, because there was much more to show, and oh my god, just saw stabbing, and I'm so sorry. But Source Filmmaker always impresses me, even if it's just screenshots or like just stills, but things people can do in Source Filmmaker is insane, and this is a test to that.
And it takes so much work as well, just like, even though there's a lot of things which are pre-made in terms of models and things, like animation in itself just takes so long. So even like artists that do stuff in Source Filmmaker, I'm always super duper impressed by it. Especially if you get like the lighting right and stuff like that, that's super hard. So, and this looks great in that sense. So yeah, after that we've got Haze Taipan's Grakata SMG fan render, and it's just a fan's render of the famous Grakata SMG. That's the way they wrote it. I'm not saying it like that. Yeah, this is great. I love the detail. The chrome on there is super nice. Any modeling again just takes a long time. So having them put their own spin on this, like slightly kind of deformed a little bit, is very cool. I love the spikes coming out of the top as well.
I always love seeing like weapons like this really close up in such like a high quality way, because you see things you probably wouldn't normally see like on a gun. Like this to me gives me like a new light into what the Crocata looks like and why Clem.
Wait, you telling me that you don't just sit there in Warframe just staring at weapon models?
Only the Archiplasma, because everyone knows that's all I play.
Not a true fan, not a true fan. You have to stare at every single one.
Alright, next up is Betty1215, and this is a life-size Neja. It's a 3D painting of Neja, casting his warding halo ability. It was made in VR with a painting program called Tilt Brush, utilizing a combination of 2D and 3D brushes. And I can't even go into VR without wanting to like fall over, because vertigo hits me hard, but this is so well done. The fire is on fire, and I love it.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing that this was made in VR, and I love the fact that you got to see how it was built up over time, too, and the actual process there. And the fire's animated. Like, how does that even work? How does the brush presets? I don't get it, but, like, oh my god,
I also really just want to see, like, the outside camera of the person in VR actually painting it, you know what I mean? Like him in the living room
like
doing
a second camera. Yeah.
I would love to see what that looked like. I feel like it just means like waving a wand.
We just get this as a costume in VR chat, just run around as Neja. That'd be great. Yeah. After that, we have Kret Doi Mik Gyoha. I think I said that incorrectly, but we'll go with it. Flight of the Arkwing, this is called. Warframes on a Vekoma-style steel roller coaster, and I love the way this is rendered. The lighting on this again is perfect. I'm assuming they just like pulled in-game models, but like it looks like a toy set or some kind of like action figure type dealio, and it just makes me want to set up little dioramas of Warframes. I love Eggscowl at the back as well. Just like he did not secure his seat.
He is exactly what you're not supposed to do, and that is fool around and not secure your seatbelt. I love Hildren in this. I don't know if she's flexing or she's pointing, because it almost looks like she like dropped her cell phone out of the roller coaster and she's like, no, my phone, because that happens all the time.
She's taking a selfie and like it's just a bad time. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that. Again, a great image to just kind of stare at and see everything. Valkyrie's just in the front, like living her best life. Oh, I love it. And next up, we have from the Mug Bearer. This is a Lego Harrow, and it is a digital Lego design of the Harrow Warframe. And I said this before, but I don't understand how you can just look at something and be like, yeah, I can make a Harrow out of that. I don't, like, maybe when I was a kid I could make a square house out of Lego. I can't make anything else. Like, this is very impressive.
Yeah, this is mind-boggling. Like, I wouldn't be able to make anything like this out of Lego. The fact that you can look at blocks and imagine this up. But like, I love this. This is great. Like, it makes me want like an actual Lego Warframe set, and the fact that that doesn't exist makes me very, very sad.
No, that'd be really cool. But again, I'd look at it and I'd be like, I don't know how to put it together. It just looks like a bunch of blocks. But someone out there is a Lego person and they could do it, I believe.
Yeah, stick an LED inside the little crystal as well, so it'll glow in real life. That'd be super dope. Right, we have Yaris bringing us Warframe Proteus Anime, which is an Warframe anime pilot. Their team and I made this first posted a short trailer of it and set it off on an avalanche, and it set off at an avalanche of excitement, especially considering that we made the whole animation with only 2 talented animators. With our Warframe fan anime project, we have managed to pull in many players and non-players and convert them into one hungry and tirelessly asking for more. This is a proven way of completely refreshing the fans and converting countless others into the Warframe world that we all fell in love with. And I kind of want a Warframe anime to exist now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's dope.
I remember actually seeing Yadis tweet one of these, it might have been this one actually, and he said for his birthday all he wanted was a Warframe anime, and Yadis, you're making it yourself. You don't even need to ask me, you just go ahead. You keep doing you, this is incredible. Again, that was only a 30-second clip of, I want to say it was a 7-minute video that he sent us. It was very long. Obviously we wish we could show the whole thing, but we are on a very strict time limit here. But Yadis, this is incredible. You're incredible, your team is incredible. 2 talented animators to make this blows my mind. and you are very talented, and thank you for putting work into this. It's very much appreciated. And last in this category is from Afnakin. This is Redeemer Prime, Warframe Cinematic Universe version. They said the Redeemer is my favorite weapon, not only in Warframe, but ever. Early on in the development of this piece, I decided I didn't want to go too far off the original concept made by the talented Marco Hasbin. His organic designs are breathtaking. So I modeled the main pieces and shapes as they were presented. The composition of the silhouette and lines worked perfectly. I used Maya to model the Redeemer from scratch, started blocking the main shapes, and added more detail on top. And it is incredible. I love grime. It's going to sound really weird, but I love grimy textures on things. So to see this in a non-polished way, but you know what I'm talking about, it brings me joy.
It makes it more realistic, yeah. Like anything that just looks battle-worn just makes my heart happy, especially when there just could be like blood and just splatters on there. It's great. You're talking about an anime, but let's get Warframe Cinematic Universe going. I think that's a good idea.
Big fan of that. And we are now moving on to the crafts category. What do we have, Mia?
We have Alanam's Volts. Well, one of many, but this one was they submitted Volts and their other figurines, and they're made of polymer clay, and they made them with their hands. And again, like this is fantastic. Again, the level of detail. These little chibi models are so gosh darn cute. I want them. I just want them to send me these. I don't want to, you know. I will pay. I don't know how much I will pay, but I will pay for these. Please make them a thing. DE, please. These need to be a thing.
It's not us. It's Ali Nams. You're gonna get a lot of commissions, Ali Nams, because Mia wants all of them, all 44 Warframes, custom signed Danny's colors.
Yeah, I gotta get myself a Baruch. Let's go.
Because you're the only Baruch main, we know it.
Yeah, the one and only. Yeah.
Yes, but this is incredible. They've done obviously the custom Mesa in the background with the signed Dana is so good. Their colors are popping off. Like, it is beautifully well done, and such details gone into that. And you did it with your hands. I can't do a lot of stuff with my hands, but apparently you can, and I'm proud of you. And we're moving on to Erados. This is a chibi stalker and wolf. These are custom miniatures in the chibi scale, customized for miniatures in the Starcadia questline. They contain a lot of hand-sculpted details using epoxy-based medium and are completely hand-painted. Again, skills with your hands. You guys are so good at what you do, and I love this. I love that you've got the big bad wolf in a very tiny form, and Stalker ready to pretty much bring the hate.
Yeah, I love the way that they're positioned too. Stalker is kind of looks like he's had enough of whoever he's dealing with. Just like, oh god, okay, alright, let's get this over with. I mean, because like up until Steel Path, he was pretty much just run through the ring for a bit. So this is just him after a hard day's work. You can see that. But like highly detailed. Love this. Love the colors. Very apt with real things. I really appreciate that. Curious Magpie is up next, and this is Cicero, an embroidered version of your favorite K-Drive scroll, totally sick skate art, originally made by Eric Leder. And like, I'm always impressed by anything that's stitched or you know, quilted or embroidered. That's the word I'm searching for. Yeah, like the amount of time this takes just to do that, I would lose my mind. But this is a great piece of art, and to see embroidered is really cool, especially the colors there.
I would love to see this with like embroidered his like monologue, you know, of like throwing Lotus into the sun or whatever, just like all in the background. I would love that so much, but alone this is fantastic. Eric
I want us a patch, like put that right there. Let's get that sewn in. Let's go.
That would be a great patch. D, we need patches. Moving on. Next up is from Dem Thighs though, and this is a Bolarola floof, and it is a blue plush of a Bolarola, and his little tongue sticking out and the heart eyes. I mean, they don't look as happy to see you when you actually see them in game, so it's nice to see them in a happier state of mind. And Dem Thighs though, you've done good.
This looks like the softest, cutest plush imaginable, and yeah, we need actual Warframe plushies. Like, the things that people make is just making me think, I want this in real life. Why isn't this like a mass-produced thing? It makes me so sad, but at least this exists in some form.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Dem Thighs though, why can't you just mass-produce a million Bolarolas and send to every player key?
You have the time, clearly.
We're assuming you have the time, we don't know.
Yeah. After that is Pajama Gamer's domestic friend, which I personally love, and this is their domestic drone made out of cardboard. It's cardboard, duct tape, 3 layers of surface prep, and 2 layers of acrylic paint. Tire build took about 20 hours of work over 2 weeks. He's their son, and they love him. And I want a 3D printed version of this, like just a paper craft version that I can put together myself, because this is too awesome, and I need it in my life.
And I believe they sent this a banana for scale version of this a while back when they showed it to us. And it's actually a lot smaller than you think it is. I don't think it's like a for scale one, which I think is even better. And Pajama Gamer, if you feel the need to, maybe you'll do the infested domestic drone next, which we showed on the art panel. How you will do that, I don't know, but if you want to do it, let me know. Send me some photos. Next up, from Artisan Genshi. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. This is a rhino sculpt. Rhino with his palatine skin and Vitala shoulder plates, stabbing and infested with the Dominion blade, which we know the Dominion blade is one of the best when it is on the Zetastar, so gotta love it. And this is probably one of the most complex Warframe skins. There's a lot of Warframe skins are complicated, but just look at the amount of detail that has to go on the front and the back and the skin and the infested. This is crazy, and I applaud your work.
Rhino used to be my boy, so I super appreciate this one, especially again with that high level of detail. This is my favorite skin, and one of my favorite pieces here. After that, we have Peria writes Laverian, the tenor of present day, which is a Warframe illustration fan book in a pseudo-museum brochure format. And honestly, all this makes me think is that we need community art pieces in some form in the Laverian, just maybe a fan art section.
Urian, you need an upgrade. I was saying, instead of, the donation box, you could just have a brochure and you could flip through it while you're walking, learn some stuff, hear from Jerusas himself. But this is incredible. Each page, there's so much work done into each page. There's actually true lore there on each page of different items per page. And it's such well done. I know that they were really hoping that they could get this submission in on time. I think they were the very last second or minute they were able to get it in. So thank you so much for putting all the work into this, and definitely take a look at it later on and check it out, because it is top tier work. And now we're moving on to the music category. This is going to be exciting. So of course, when people send us music, typically it's your classic 4 minutes long, 3 minutes long. We obviously cannot play the whole thing per song here, so we did 20 to 30 second clips of it. So this first one is from Jake Lionheart. It is a Nightwave transmission, and they made an instrumental centered around playing the Shazin and wrote and recorded vocals focused on Nora Knight's dialogue.
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners of all ages, I present to you, walking amongst us, the once and future badass. Broadcasting live, jumping dreamer, are you listening? The voice of Nora Knight, who's out here, she's steady signaling.
Love Nora Knight, they're getting in there with the vocals.
So good. I want this playing in my Orbiter 24/7. That's just having that. I can just going out with the squad. Let's get ourselves in there, just playing this in the background. So in tune now. After that, we have El Rehan's We Are Tenno, which is an orchestrational cover mashup between This Is What You Are and To Take Its Pain Away. One music to tell what we are. Tenno.
It's emotional. Not a mashup. Ready to go to battle.
Suiting up. Striking down your enemies.
Awesome. And next up, we have a little bit of a tune. This is Hio Swiper. This Is What You Are festival mix. So they created a dance festival edit for This Is What You Are soundtrack. We're at a rave. We got Dane's dancing over there. We're at a rave. We got our glow sticks. I don't know how you dance at a rave, but
Hashtag glow sticks.
glow sticks. Oh, there you go. Oh, do it, Dean. Yeah! Okay, this is hilarious. Oh, you kept the beat in. I thought you cut the beat. Oh, it's so good. We love a festival mix because we can't go to any festival. So let's festival mix here. All right, what's next, man?
We have Motor Gnome's Ascension Wolves, which is a solo piano composition inspired by the themes of the Warframe soundtrack, including This Is What You Are. Hope you enjoy.
Definitely a theme here of This Is What You Are being a very good music piece.
This is what you play when you sit on the front doorstep waiting for the Lotus to come home.
Oh my god! Will mother ever come home? The end credits roll. Rain starts to fall. You don't have an umbrella. You don't have a jacket.
Just walking away.
Slow-mo. You turn around to look. Still no Lotus. Oh, Motor Gnome. You brought the feels. Alright, and last but not least in the music category is, I did have to censor this name a little bit because I think it's inappropriate, but G-Grinder, To Take Its Pain Away, Smiles from Duran metal cover, and it's an epic metal cover of the Sacrifice theme. We're on a rooftop, we're ready to rock, where every good rock song is done. That's a DJ. Hell yeah.
Our kick-in is so strong.
We're in a stairwell now. Sweet acoustics.
The best music venue. So.
Stairwell. So good. I tried to do electric guitar once back in the day, and they just wanted me to play Smells Like Teen Spirit, so I gave up. But you, sir, are incredible. That is so well done. Obviously, again, there was a lot more to that video and that song, but I had to cut it down a little bit. But it was an epic metal cover of the Sacrifice theme, so thank you very much for sending us that. And next up, we are in the cosplay and props category. Mia Bytes started off strong.
Oh, we have Drano 342's Dark Dagger, which is a real version of the Dark Dagger. They used 1095 high carbon steel for the blade. The handle is made of maple and walnut wood. The two pictures are one just polished and the other one the steel has been darkened to look more like the Dark Dagger in the game. They use bluing to darken the steel the same way a lot of flat ground metal is finished. And this looks dope. Like, I love both versions of this. I think I like the finished version a little bit more, but it definitely, like, the amount of time that it takes to even get towards making something like this is amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like things that look like they just came out of like the blacksmith molten lava, like they're just like so, you know, medieval looking, so big fan of that, and I could not be trusted around any of these because scissors scare me. So moving on from as_A, this is a Galatine Prime, and it's a handmade of the Galatine Prime in Warframe. And handmade it is indeed. We even have a PS4 controller for scale. Love when I can understand what scale we're looking at here, because you could have fooled me. You could have told me this was regular size, Giantine sword, perspective, you know, drives all, but with a PS4 controller, we have learned it is very small, but I love it.
I don't know how, like, this can exist as a papercraft thing, because I feel like if I pick it up, it would just kind of fall apart, but it must be, like, reinforced in some way. And there's LEDs in there, too. Like, how do you, like, this takes a lot of technical knowledge to put together something like that. Well, at least to me, I'm dumb. Maybe it doesn't take that much technical knowledge.
I'll look at this and I'm like, I'll never achieve this. I couldn't even do paper mache in school, so this is good on you.
This is something else. After that, we have Mish Fizz's Another Little Boomstick, a kick and bolt with a two-finger haymaker kill stream, and painted using the color scheme they use in the game. It is now proudly displayed on a shelf and can be seen behind them when they stream with their daughter on Twitch. And it's so cute. It is. The fact that the parts come apart is the best. Oh, and the finish on this is so good as well. You can see the details of the little scratches that they put into the side there. Like, that, again, takes time and takes care and takes passion, and you can totally tell.
And you see that parts are interchangeable with future designs, so maybe that means some more kit guns. If you want to send some my way, I'd be love to see it and put it together. Love this. It is so cool. And like you said, the scratches, the grime, if you will, it is very well done. And I'm sure Rude Zood would be rude, but I think she would very much enjoy this. So, moving on from Elusive Kite, this is a Spira LARP version. They said it made a live-action roleplay game version of the Spira thrown knives. These replicas are safe to throw at other players without real harm, as per most LARP game rules. They're made with plastizote foam, leather hide, liquid latex, and colored with acrylics, and ribbons are red satin. So these I could totally handle if I can't hurt myself or other people. It is so well done. I love how you took the red ribbon satin to heart and really, brought that to life. And it's safe to use for children of all ages.
Hopefully, yeah. I just want to get these and just like throw these at people. That's exactly what I want to do. I mean, if you pick up something like this, you want to use it. Like somebody's just in the office, just like throw one at them. It's not going to hurt them. It's fine. It's LARP safe.
That reminds me of when Dean used to fire Nerf guns at people in this video. You know you do. All right, what's next we have?
We have Teoshi's, sorry, I couldn't say that, Excalibur head keychain. It's made with cardboard. The quality's not very high. They said that, not me, but they made it, and that is what counts. And again, it's like you're making this now, and this is already highly kind of detailed with the carvings and the shapes in there, out of paper and cardboard. Like, what are you going to be making for next TennoCon? What are you going to be making in like 2 years' time? This might just be like the beginning for you. I'd be proud of this. I'd be very proud of this. It's pretty cool. I love the fact it's on a little keychain as well.
So cute, and you can do that with cardboard, like Mia said. You got some talent, my friend. I can't do anything with cardboard but make a box, and usually that's what it came in. So this is great, and if you want to do more, love to see it. Awesome, Excalibur. Love it. Moving on, a familiar face to Widescreen John. This is their armory so far. It's all of the Warframe weapons that they've designed and built themselves. I have that Vakar hex sitting in my office. This one I think he was going to bring to